Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again. We are the Wrestling for Life Network, and we have another live stream for everybody out there. I hope your week is well. I hope you put it in the books, nice, safe and sound, and you're ready for your weekend. And it kicks off tonight with a head-to-head collision and Smackdown. We're getting both. They're going to collide and smack each other down. And we're getting Rampage, and we're coming back tomorrow for full gear. It's got so much on the line over the next couple days. So tune in. Don't go anywhere. Strap in, strap on, grab your snacks. We got all the action, all the reaction, and so much more, folks. Let's go! Ding, ding, ding. We're live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream. We're here all night long. Me and that pretty face going to take you through all the action tonight. Looking forward to Collision and Smackdown. Apparently, Ronda Rousey sniffing around Collision. We'll talk about that as we move forward. And then, of course, we'll cap it all off with a little bit of Rampage. Sometimes the dessert we don't want to have after our yummy meal. But with all that being said, folks, it's going to be a fun one. I am Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Did he freeze or did I? Did he? Right. That's too funny. Did he pause up, folks? My man's just right mid. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It looks like he's sneezing. Now I got to check the front. 1 second, folks. Oh, no. He's just playing with our emotions.
No, now I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its unfrozen tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick. And yes, we've got a battle of the Titans here. We've got a brand-on-brand battle royal here between AEW and WWE of Collision, or Dynamite couldn't beat NXT, so Tony's taking a shot with Collision and Rampage at SmackDown. I mean, because if you're going to dance with the devil, you might as well lead.
Nick, do you want to build a snowman?
What?
Do you want to build a snowman?
What? I heard you.
No, welcome, everybody. And yeah, I mean,
I came down with the Luna from Thursday.
You know what? It's moments like that where people are going to be like, we knew Nick was AI because you just glitched.
I am the Terminator. Yeah.
You come out of the glitch and you're like, still going. We're like, here we go. But yeah. Sorry, Nick. We got the head-to-head shows like you talked about. Lots of rumors, lots of news going around. Will Ospreay is taking up a huge chunk of everyone's day today. Lots of discussion about that. I know we're going to get into it and get back and forth on that one. Also, the rumor is Ronda Rousey is at AEW Collision tonight.
Well, Scott, very much thank you for the super chat. Ronda Rousey to debut with AEW as broken by me this morning. There you go, Scott. Up on the news there. But is she the signing then? Or is she just an additional? I mean, I know I speculated that she was going to be the signee potentially. Yeah. Especially we just saw her last night at Wrestling Revolver make her indie debut where Billy Stark's planted that woman on her goddamn head.
Yeah, I give her credit for taking some bumps. I mean, it wasn't the best of main events, and it was what it was.
But the Ring of Honor title shot that Athena hit on her kind of made me think, okay, she might be a bit more involved here with AEW going forward.
Well, I mean, we talked about it. She is a competitive person by nature, and she was a top-tier athlete, at one time she was the best at what she did. So I do imagine that there is a level of, I'll show these people, who criticize me and say I don't got it. And I can't.
Say Marks, go ahead, say it. You can say Marks.
I was trying to be nice. We're early. But yeah, no, I definitely find it interesting. And I mean, again, I just want Ronda to sign because I think it's hilarious. I mean, if you think Punk is an abrasive attitude, hold on tight.
Well, we've got Rick out here Bunch of new names, I think, showing up in the chat. But
Yeah,
Goldberg is on a plane. He rumored also.
That was rumored, though. It was rumored today that he's got business. There's potential business between Tony and I don't know if Goldberg, and maybe a fact checker out there, maybe our new friend Rick knows what the potential business would be. I don't know if Goldberg has like a supplement line or something that he's, Tony.
He's going to be the new Ric Flair.
Yeah, that's the new.
Tony's preparing for when he goes off the network and everything, and he's got a like Alex Jones in, and I've got the Ric Flair energy drinks and the Goldberg, supplements and everything.
Yeah, I have no idea, but yeah, I mean, again, is to me, Ronda Rousey, Goldberg, these are signings that the AEW faithful should have no interest in.
But they will act like they do.
Yeah, if you're a diehard AEW fan from the get-go, this is the antithesis of what you wanted for this company. You're losing the mission statement with this. And I was about to say, I don't want to make you spell in the air, my guy, but
WCW.
Yeah, Nick doesn't pee his name in the snow. He pees WCW.
WCW. I Bret Hart.
Just real quickly, Damien's in the house. Roblox, good to see you. Clay Lewis is with us. See Money, Gamers back at it again. Alexis, Greg, Sunny. Tivon is back.
Saying love y'all backgrounds. Well, thank that man beside me there.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Larry, what up? Derek the Devastator. Hello, what's up, everybody?
He putting everybody on
devastated.
Notice. Right.
Derek, what up? Manny, what up? TK announced new match for Collision. Trent versus Penta versus Commander versus Brian Cage. Winner faces Christian for the title later on.
That can't be true.
We'll see.
Now, there is a number one contenders match happening on SmackDown tonight. No,
let me go.
We are getting
the Brawling Brutes versus the Sweet Profits versus Pretty Deadly for a number one contenders match.
Yes, there you go. Interesting.
Who you got?
Street Profits.
I
think.
I concur. I agree. I second that.
Yeah, I think you got to go that way.
Yo. But back to what we were talking about with Ospreay and everything and being the hot topic of the day, because Andrew Zarian, I believe, is the one that sourced that the new signee at Full Gear is going to be Will Ospreay. And boy, howdy, did Twitter and the IWC just run with that as gospel.
Oh, yeah. Ran it right up the flagpole to the point where, I mean, like, you're like, okay, I guess this is what's happening. And I don't like it.
I don't think it's happening. That's the thing. To me, why would I, if I'm Ospreay, we get that Tony could buy out his contract, everything like that. The man's got billions that he just wants to throw around on anything and everything.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm Ospreay and I'm 3 months out from being the arguably hardest free agent on the market, well, I wouldn't say arguably, but I'm going to have WWE and AEW and even potentially New Japan trying to bid for my services. 100%. I'll wait till I get to there. I'll bet on myself and be a free agent and go from there versus sign a deal with AEW now when you still have New Japan dates that you could still do regardless, or you could still work with AEW even while still on your current deal. I'm good.
When you stopped.
Yes, I was letting you go.
I didn't know you were done. No, that's that's my take on it. I mean, he would Tony would have to get permission to make this deal. New Japan would have to okay it again, even if it's, we're signing you today, but it's effective then. But I don't know how inclined New Japan would be for that. Granted, the good news for them is Ospreay gets to finish out his dates, and because of the relationship, maybe do some other stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of expected Will Ospreay to join that roster. I feel like he was a part of that roster already in an extent. So I'm not really like, oh my God, it's a big deal. Not the biggest of.
I don't know, because to me, I thought with WWE and how much they've been involved and wanted to get Ospreay and have been trying to get Ospreay for the longest time. And now with Triple H in charge and everything like that, I wonder if that's, it would seem to me more of a coup almost if Tony locks in Ospreay.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it would be great for Tony. And I mean, to me, it would be more of a loss if he didn't get him. opposed to a win. I don't know. It's so weird for me. Like, it doesn't feel like a big W. It's kind of like you already had that on the 90-yard line. All you had to do was walk it in. So congrats on walking it in.
Fair enough. But I think, is there anybody that really would feel like this, oh my God, this huge snag? I think Ospreay is probably the closest to it. I don't even think Mercedes would feel like a giant, snag. Well, Ospreay's the one out there that most people are. You're seeing a ton of reports of WWE being interested. There's the potential they may try and build a whole NXT Europe around Ospreay, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think we watched the new signee wrestle last night at Wrestling Revolver, and it's Sami Callihan.
See, to me, Sami Callihan doesn't move the needle enough, and that would, it'd be really interesting in the sense of somebody that everybody respects. We know Sammy's been controversial, had a lot of heat on him. He's not universally respected. I'll put it that way.
Mox is going to want him there. There's clearly an AEW tie-in and everything. We saw a lot of guys from AEW on Wrestling Revolver last night. True. Who had the whole angle involved with Swerve and Hangman.
Yep.
Sammy can still do Wrestling Revolver and everything like that. I think I know it's going to be underwhelming, but that's the nature of Tony's announcements and everything at this point. I feel I'm aiming for reality. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of torn. And I mean, I saw rumors, and I got this thought today about the idea, Nick, of, what if, we keep seeing these leaks. Now the news story is the WWE's very interested in Okada. That's who Shinsuke's talking about. I'll be honest. I don't care about Okada. I will not jump for joy. I will not, woohoo for Okada to sign. I just don't. Okay.
See, I disagree with that. I think Okada would be a big grab for them. I understand it would be really interesting of what they're going to do, and especially now, it's so weird to wrap your head around of now Hunter's fully in charge. Appreciate you. Oh, you're trying to do that thing. But that Hunter's fully in charge of creative. Vince has stuff. So now if you bring in a guy like an Okada, like an Ospreay, a Mickey James comes back, anything like that, how they're going to get used versus how we all kind of anticipate they would have gotten used under Vince.
That's interesting. And I do believe there's a different dynamic there with WWE, with Trips at the helm. We've talked about this a lot of times. Again, I don't know. I think
Roman Okada wouldn't tear the house down.
I don't think so. I mean, again, he'd have to prove me wrong, but I'm not like, ooh, this is great. He's going to have dream like Okada, Seth, maybe. Okay, I guess. But I'm just, maybe it's the in and out of the New Japan talent with AEW. I'm just like, I don't care. Like Ibushi, so what?
Well, one of those that you've kind of seen him enough, they've ruined it. They've spoiled it. You had too much of a good thing.
Yeah, to an extent.
Well, speaking of New Japan wrestlers and terrible things that they've done on AEW,
bicycle.
Can't get over bicycle.
It was the
bikes.
And now, did you see Brian Alvarez on?
Oh yeah, I've seen everybody, and then how the AEW diehards have turned on Alvarez now because he actually said something. He threw a stone at the Kingdom.
Well, that's
saying how it was an awful spot.
Your PR people, for a lack of better term, who have been pumping the gospel according to Tony for 4 years, are starting to turn on you and sing a different tune. They're in a different hymn book all of a sudden. And now you see the faithful AEW fans starting to turn on them instead of maybe now we should keep following the voices we have been. Nope. Those voices are now in the wrong side. Not my problem.
Heresy. Yeah. Heresy from the gospel.
What a travesty! How dare you? And that's
how dare you transgression upon this religion.
Mm-hmm. And listen, you and I have been extremely critical on multiple occasions of Brian Alvarez, of Meltzer, of other people. And I give them credit for finally being public about some of the bullshit that's going on and stop acting like everything's peachy key.
But AEW got a 6-figure deal with that. That's the comment I've seen everybody throw out there for that of the point back to how terrible that spot is. See, they got 6 figures from it because of the deal with Sega.
Yeah, so do it better. The same thing when they did the Leatherface match and people said, well, they raised a good amount of money for charity. Great. But if you're going to fucking put on a charity event, make it a fucking good one. Go all out. Like, if you, do the Sega Street Fight, but make it look cool. Drop the, don't have your wrestlers rubbing each other with pipes, opposed to actually swinging it like a weapon. If you can't, pre-do that spot, and get it down, this is going to look good on the show tonight, then don't fucking do it.
The highlight of that whole spot was Brian Cage just clotheslining that man into the nether realm.
I will say, again, we talked about Legos and shit. Bike wasn't on the list because who saw that coming?
Very true, very true.
But and you look at the whole spot where he was throwing the bike, then he got dropped on the bike. You're like, this is not good. But what did you think of the menu spot? We never talked about that. The Kyle Fletcher tombstone
I have not seen this spot.
Oh my god, dude. I thought Ibushi was dead. But
through the table?
Yeah, well, it was a makeshift chair table, but it was a menu board on instead of a table.
Oh, Jesus.
It was a huge spot. It looked horribly scary. Big spot.
Well, that's one thing that AEW is known for is some ridiculous spots that end up much more dangerous than they need to be.
Right. I'm going to click on a few of these. Love y'all. Background's got that one. That was, he froze. Yes, he did. Hello, what's up, everybody? What did Money say? Welcome back, Money and Larry. I don't care. Rick, we got that one. The Goldberg rumors are killing me, but man, again, he's going for the clicks. But at some point, the people who hated WWE for Goldberg, for Rousey, for this person and that person, or the old people are pushing the same people, they're going to sour on this real quick. They should anyway.
Oh, absolutely. But I question it. It's like what you were talking about with the Alvarez stuff and everything like that, of the diehards are getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you're going to run out of tread on that runway.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can only, and again, when you're trying to expand a business, expand a brand, you can't just keep going to that well. They have a finite amount to spend on your product. And yeah, they'll support the big stuff. They'll buy the t-shirts, but eventually they run out. You need more people to come into your funnel. Now I'm giving a fucking business tutorial to the AEW.
Right, business 101.
Right, but you need your funnel full. You got to keep bringing people in. You got to expand your horizons, and they've either plateaued or decreased in a lot of areas, and it's unfortunate.
Well, it's one of those, you can't put yourself into an echo chamber. You need to listen to actual criticism. And not everybody that is negative towards your company is negative just because they hate it and they want it to fail and everything. No, they're just giving honest feedback.
I don't want it
to fail. If you can't take that, then that's on you.
Mm-hmm. I don't want it to fail. And I mean, the amount of arguments I get into with people over just saying like, hey, maybe this could be better. They're like, you shut your mouth. And you're like, okay, my bad.
Right.
But at the end of the day, man, you got to be honest about it. Tony's got to be honest about what he's doing. And it's all got to grow. I want to see it grow.
Right. Need competition out here. But Scott, thank you very much again for the super chat. I really think Cody was the heart and soul of AEW. Very true, honestly.
He was like the conscience of AEW. Like he was the one to me who kept everything balanced. Like
the moral center.
Yeah, like he was that what's the word? The metronome for everybody of like, this is your chi, this is where you should be, this is the pocket. Okay, that's cool. And then a couple of you guys,
the line. He was, the straight man that everybody could play off of.
Now, the interesting part about Scott's comment is the guy that became their heart and soul might also not be there. And I think he's even more of the heart and soul that Cody was. And maybe on different aspects because Cody was behind the scenes, but everything is revolving around, everything that matters is revolving around.
MJF feels homegrown. Cody was already established product that you got that jump ship.
Yeah, valid.
That's the difference. But I will remind everybody, as Scott's already dropped 2 super chats. Thank you very much, by the way. But as the chat fills up, as we're 9 minutes away from show kicking off, we do have the super chats, the super stickers, all of that 100%. If you want to get your comment read, especially when we're covering 2 shows at the same time, it's going to be hard to get a word in edgewise a bit.
No shit. Oh, you meant them, not us. Okay.
Both. I should probably.
So people, go ahead. Yeah, there.
No, sorry. Finish what you're saying. If Nick keeps freezing like this, he's going to be deemed the Iceman of wrestling for life. Yeah. You know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Let it go. Let it go.
Right. New York, John Cena. Amen.
Boston, Massachusetts, John Cena.
Yeah, right? I was going to say KJ, Toronto.
All right.
Would the devil be Wardlow? I hope not.
I know some people, I know SRS and Fightful said that pretty much they already have in place who's going to be the devil, and it's been that person the whole time behind the mask. I still think they're playing fast and loose with this. They could change that at any moment, depending on how the story goes, what catches momentum, depending on who they sign. That's another thing. If they sign Sammy could be a potential devil.
I don't think so. I think it's one of those things of like, we know what the answer is. I fully, like, they're giddy. I can't wait.
You think Tony Khan has a plan?
For certain things like this, I think so. I think he, turns his notepad sideways and writes down a name. We kind of talked about where he had that like 2-year plan in the beginning, and then, Adam Page had to be the champion. He didn't really read the room. He just kind of ran his plan. So I'm wondering if this mask guy is the same idea. I will give Tony Khan credit. We badmouth him a lot for the compelling story. Everybody in the wrestling world is trying to guess who's in the mask. So I got to give him some marks for that, and kudos. Now we'll see.
But I will detract from that and say, with the Jay White MJF match outside of the Devil storyline, has that been the most tepid feud in AEW world title history?
Well, and again, last night I read off the card from Full Gear 2023 and 2022, and going into this one, I know I'm not trying to take the excitement away from anyone. I want to see it. But if you look at this card this year, I mean, what are the banger matches that you're like, this one could be a match of the year? Well, the main event, maybe, but the build to it has been, like you said, tepid and kind of overshadowed by Samoa Joe, by the Acclaimed, by the Masked Man. There's been a lot of shit going on. You had a street fight for 20 minutes prior to a promo with the champion at the end of the show. I've never seen such an anticlimactic decision that didn't help. Like, if MJF got his belt back or something major happened, fine, but that could have been the second last segment. It's just those mistakes that leading into Full Gear has taken a little bit of the steam out of the excitement for me.
Fair enough. I'm very warranted, I will say.
Corey, sorry, dude. Corey.
Hey, I don't know. If it's AAA QT, I'm all for it, because AAA QT is a different QT than what we get in AEW.
Could you imagine the public reaction to being QT Marshall?
Who? That's what it would be. Who?
Ooh.
Twitter would be ablaze. Oh my God, they pulled it off. Could you believe it? We never expected it.
Yeah, no shit. Tomorrow we will see Cole with the mask. Either Ziggler or Sasha are the signing. I don't believe it can be Ziggler. I'm still leaning Sasha.
Sasha would be interesting. I don't think that's a bad shout at all. I think I'm just going for something outside of that, because like I said last night, I think she'd want more pomp and circumstance. But then again, it's LA, all of that. As far as with Ziggler, I think him, and I was thinking for a while, Riddle, and then I even checked today, and he got released around when everybody else did. So he wouldn't, as far as the 90-day no compete. Yeah, I don't. The only way it'd be Ziggler is if they waived the no compete or ended it early, like they did for Regal.
Yeah, could Ziggler go to WWE Trips or whoever and say, listen, guys, I'm 2 weeks away from this expiring or 3 weeks away. Can you just let me go? We got an angle.
How much I've done for you guys, all
Yeah.
that. Can you give me this one solid?
If anybody could, I could see it being him. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, that makes it even more surprised. Like when Roddy showed up and we didn't even know he was gone.
Yeah.
That is what I want.
So Ziggler could be a front runner with this.
Interesting. Now, again, I'm still leaning on Adam Cole for the actual masked person. I don't think MJF's in the run. Do you still think it could be MJF?
The only way is what the Jay White was kind of hinting at, that it's Max still, but he's been trying to hide that he's been the bad guy. So if it becomes this, wait for the car. If it becomes one of those, split person, like if he's got a Tyler Durden fucking persona here, that's the only way I think we could do that. But it's getting slimmer by the day. I'm very much getting into it being the Adam Cole camp, or it's going to be something that's a letdown.
Something that's just out of left field. Now, the reason why I like it being potentially Adam Cole is I do like the fact that then you have a solid heel chasing with friends a babyface MJF, and they can go back and forth and really get a program out of this all the way to Revolution if you want it.
Oh, absolutely. It would be one of the most, hopefully, steer the ship in the right direction moments of if it ends up being Adam Cole. If this whole injury has been a ruse and everything, it would be a giant right the ship moment. It would become, AEW becomes captivating TV that night.
Yeah, and I mean, I think whether you love or hate WWE, the one thing they've definitely done well, whether you can disagree about all the other aspects of the business, but they always have at least one thing, usually around their champion, that's super interesting, super compelling. Almost always, Nick. So, and I think that's lacked in AEW, is that one anchor, that trump card that is uniquely yours that people want to know about every week.
Am I back now?
You are.
Okay, I froze in the middle of what you were saying there, but I could hear you.
I was playing
it off.
Couldn't
react.
I was playing it off because I was hoping you just came back, so I just kept going.
Fair enough.
You were in a very thoughtful.
I was in deep retrospective complexion there.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. The mystery partner for MJF will be a Hammerstone. Ooh.
I like that. That was my call. Yeah, I'm with you, Dale. That would be a pretty big coup. I will say that, because Hammerstone to me is a guy that has WWE written all over him. Stamped on
when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Absolutely.
No, I mean, I thought when MJF needed a partner, it could have been Hammerstone, especially with the time of his release. Now, I don't know if he's on a 90-day, if he was outright let go. Like, I don't know.
Has he been actually let go?
Oh, no, he's still fighting. Like, last I heard, he was still fighting for his release. That's a good point.
Yeah, he hasn't been technically released. But then again, he posted an update, and then I saw the update of how he was told he would get his release, and then all the reports came out to the dirt sheets that they had no intention of releasing him and everything. And then since then, that video has been taken down. Yeah. So I don't know where he stands on that situation, but I know he's not, I think, the only one in MLW that is trying to see their way out of that company.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love this comment by Dale, though. Too many people have been joking. I joke that here comes the money. I think it'd be wicked. Yeah, hilarious.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. It would be funny just for the memes and the laughter. It wouldn't be serious at all. It'd be nothing but chuckles.
Right. This one's for you.
Is it me, or is this MJF and Max Caster thing remind me of Dustin Razor? A little bit, yeah. Well, I like more Dustin's comments about how Tony Storm reminds him of him of the Goldust character and everything.
Yeah, I don't see the Max Caster MJF thing other than there's a little bit of, I got the starting of SmackDown coming up, by the way. I got Zen, my guy.
Well, he was just saying how like Goldust would kind of
but it's not the same.
A little bit with Razor.
Yeah, a little bit of the stalker vibe, I guess, but yeah. I got now.
I have a commercial for bath fitter. So if you need a new tub, let me know.
Well, folks, we are getting the start of both shows, so make sure. I need now. We're syncing up. Funny if he's frozen. Is he frozen? All right, Nick frozen. Well, we're rolling along, folks.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, you are paused altogether. You might have to reboot.
Let me take a pause here.
Yeah, you're having a struggling moment.
Yeah. Una momento.
Right. Catch your breath, sir. Go talk to the Matrix. All right, Nick's going to go reboot his shit, and we are rolling along. I'm getting the start of SmackDown, where we have a replay from from Crown Jewel, building up to this ladies' rivalry that's been going on. So that is kicking off. Also, AEW Collision is kicking off. Both myself and Nick will bring you all the action for all of it tonight. It's going to be a fun one. Then we're going to hang around for a little bit in the after show, which is known as Rampage. But if you're just tuning in, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. We are over 100 likes already on this stream tonight. And yeah, we're rolling along. Just hit another milestone. We're coming up on 2.9K over sometime in the next 24 hours, hopefully. So heading towards that 3K milestone very, very soon. Rio says Nick can't grow it back in time to play Santa this year. I got to go up and see what happened. The double has to be Adam Cole. Tony, I'm with you. I agree with that. Dun, dun, dun. Fast and Furious 52 just drove past Nick's house. What? Yeah, it happens. It happens, Jeff. I agree with you guys. The mystery partner for MJF will be Hammerstone. Got that one. And then, yeah, now nothing certain. I still think it might be Samoa Joe. I think he might be the front runner. Hammerstone's a bit of a pipe dream. Wouldn't that be something? Got that one. The odds of Collision, oh, not at all. I don't even think they're competing. They have made no conversation about it. They're just quietly going about their business. And I find it very interesting when you talk about we are competition to the WWE, and you made such a big deal about going against NXT. Not a whole lot of rumors or Tony tweets about tonight, because they know, and he's not even going to play that game. He's frozen on up. Dun, dun, dun. I'm hearing that Ronda is backstage at Collision. I also heard that rumor as well, Safit. Yeah, apparently she's there. Does that mean she's signing? I don't know. But again, in this little bit of a arms race, would you not take that chance? Like, we talk about potentially CM Punk and Randy Orton coming into the fold. WWE is going to be greedy unto their own right. So if Tony can get his hands on Ronda, get his hands on, Hammerstone, Will Ospreay, he's going to do it. He's going to get it as much assets as he can get his hands on to compete. And I got Christian in the ring on one, and I got the start of SmackDown as Damage Control is coming your way now. Oh. So tomorrow we get Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne taking on Sting, Darby, and Adam Copeland. And how do you guys feel about the new and improved Damage Control? Like them coming out for that entrance right now, 5 strong. They look pretty badass. I mean, hard to argue. Ric Flair is going to be at ringside tomorrow, if anybody was wondering. So I fully expect a Ric Flair bump. Yes, he is. C-Money. Wait, who's that? Road Dogg. Okay, thank you. Thank you. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Road Dogg is on commentary. Yeah. What is up with that? I'm with you. I like it. I like the way they look. I like how they sound. I like how they're doing their shit. I have absolutely no complaints with Damage Control. And right now, the crowd in AEW is chanting for Adam. Don't look behind the curtain. Okay. We are continuing. The DOGG is on commentary. I didn't even hear rumors about this potentially. Road Dogg is on commentary 100%. Damage Control would matter if they actually had suitable women's division to control, which does not exist. Ooh, real. A little bit of an overextension, my guy. I think there is a growing, strong women's division in WWE, and I think people overlook it and ignore it. But I think there's been lots and lots of good women's matches, lots of good rivalries with the women's division. I would argue that, I mean, again, look at their competition. They are clearly putting on a better women's division than that one. So there you go. Well, hurry up and get back here and join the Ass Man, would you? Like the new Damage Control. I like it a lot. Good evening. Yeah, I'm curious how this is going to turn out. Damage Control will eventually narrow down to just Io, Kairi, and Asuka. They'll turn on Bayley and Dakota. I don't know about Dakota, Jeff. I can agree with Bayley. I think Bayley might get turned back into a hugger. But I don't know about Dakota. Dakota fits. Dakota looks well. She's playful. I like what has become of Dakota. And I feel like last week, Dakota seemed very aware of what was happening. Bayley seemed shocked. So keep that in mind. Penta Jr. versus Commander versus Brian Cage versus Trent. Winner gets Christian Cage tonight on Rampage. So weird. But why? There's no reason for him to fight any of those people on Rampage tonight. Interesting. Wouldn't be my first choice. I have only one problem with Damage Control. Bayley. Mike, what's wrong with Bayley? She's one of the best in the business. If Bianca needs a friend, then she needs to have AJ Styles as her friend in WWE history. Okay, Richard. Smackdown greater than Collision. Yeah, I don't think that's in debate. As Christian Cage basically putting everything on notice. So we are getting a trios match tomorrow. However, Christian Cage apparently could lose his title on Rampage. I didn't write it. WWE has the best women's division. I don't even think it's the debate at this point. Between the talent and the way they are booked and showcased, it's undeniable. Yeah, I know. And I mean, realistically, we talk about Impact in the Knockouts division, but they did go through a regression. They don't have the same talent that they used to. And they're strong. Speaking of strong.
Pause. Well, hopefully my internet connection stays strong here.
Stay strong. But yeah, no, I think the Knockouts have been great, but they did go through a change and a fluctuation. But no other company is giving the women as much time, as much relevancy, as much.
The first night was almost an entire women's show.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, you got to give them credit where credit's due. I know people kind of act like they get this opinion stuck in their head and they don't go back to review the information. And as the information updates, they hold on to the same opinion too long sometimes.
Right. So, as I've got Shotzi coming out in her tank, as I've got Big Bill, W. Morrissey, I keep wanting to call him that, and Ricky Starks getting interviewed backstage. And I guess I found out while I was on my pause that the DOGG is on commentary. So now I feel, I even got to do more of, the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, right now, Shotzi just going at everybody in the ring. And here comes Charlotte and Bianca out to help. So who's going to be the next woman that comes out? Watch it be Mickey and just...
It's going to be somebody.
Can it be the Jeopardy queen herself, Becky Lynch?
It's going to be Julia. No, I'm just kidding. Julia.
Could you imagine just Tony? Fuck you and your signings.
You and your Mark booking. Well, yeah, and I'm waiting for Nick Aldis to give us his best William Regal impression.
War Games. And then I'll have to eat all of the crow.
I was asking this to the crowd when you were fixing or thawing out, I guess.
Yeah. Defrosting.
When Damage Control came walking out tonight. Did they not look wicked? Did they not look badass?
Oh, 100%. They look badass. They look. It's so interesting how there's like 3 factions really in WWE, and AEW is known for doing all the factions. But there's 3 factions in WWE, and they all look badass: the Bloodline, Judgment Day, and Damage Control.
Right now, yeah, no, I agree. I thought they looked like as a unit, they looked strong. And I know some people are like, "Well, Bailey's going to get axed," and I believe that's true. But I think they look good. They look like it makes sense. And again, they just dominate that whole situation.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of dominating, I have the Redeemer, Miro, coming out right now. So it looks like we're kicking off Collision with Miro versus Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. It's funny because you were like, speaking of dominating, I had the graphic for Solo and Miro. So 50-50 on that
Yeah,
one.
big beefy boys.
Damage Control is out of what?
As we've got the tag match kicking off too, is because I've got the Street Profits coming out.
All right, folks, we're going to take a prediction on 2 separate matches. Is Miro going to beat Daniel Garcia? And who is going to be the number 1 tag contenders for the WWE Undisputed Tag titles?
Could this be that they're leaning towards splitting the titles because all of these guys are SmackDown tag teams? Granted, the tag team titles have been very much a Raw thing between Judgment Day, Cody, Sammy, etc.
I hope so. I mean, I know I've been kind of championing it for a while. And again, when we were talking about, WWE doesn't have a women's division or doesn't book it, I don't think that's accurate. And I know the tag team division still leaves a lot to be desired, but we've watched them put a spotlight on tag teams. And I believe Triple H is building up that division, adding tag team after tag team. Shit, we saw Veer and Sanga return last week. I mean, there's a lot going on. So, yeah, split the belts. But you need enough talent to split the belts.
Well, I think they do. I will say that. I'm shocked anyone would underestimate Sheeta like that. Who did what about who?
What's wrong with Hickory?
I don't know. Did you say something about her while I was
I have not talked about Hickory.
This man's just going out here just on his own tangent. Yes, boys, for the win. Are you saying the Discount Boys there of Elton Prince and
the Pet Shop Boys?
No, I think he was talking about Pretty Deadly there.
Yeah. The Pet Shop Boys.
I keep always thinking what the maximum male model should have been.
Right. Mickey James, perhaps the 4th member. I think it could be Mickey. The rumor was Becky. You and I kind of threw Mickey out at everybody the last couple days here.
Now that it's come out that she's been without a contract since 2021, I want to say, with Impact or something like that. And how they've now even removed them from their removed her from her roster page. Her hubby's, GM over SmackDown. The cards are all lining up a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like where there's smoke, there's fire on this one. Now, will she join a War Games match? I think Mickey would be willing to throw some hands in a War Games.
Oh, hell yeah.
She ain't going to shy away from that shit. Let's go.
As I've got Miro right now, gut wrench suplex on Garcia.
Flock of seagulls. I dig it. Pretty Deadly as the flock of seagulls.
Oh, I'm like, okay.
Dale's got the Street Profits. Dale, welcome back. If I haven't said that to you yet, Miro for the win. Curtis is back in the house.
Yeah, we need our over-under on commercials, although I think we've already broken that, and it'd be hard to keep track with 2 shows going.
Oh, Miro threatening the day. Oh, he flips the crowd off instead.
More over dance in pro wrestling. Garcia or Prince Nana?
Garcia, just because, the positioning of Garcia.
Oh, Nana, I swerve when I drive. Yeah, I swerve
he had to temper it because Swerve's like, man, I'm being a heel and people are loving that shit too much. So he had to dial it back a little.
That's what makes Swerve so great to me.
Yeah.
This is, again, if there is a fumble the bag, if there is a miss the ball, a black mark on, I guess, Triple H's creative over WWE, it's that they let Swerve go.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have. They really shouldn't have. And again, their argument is at the time, blah, 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 blah. And again, I mean, can we hold Triple H accountable for the sins of the father? No, not really. But the WWE as a whole, like I know when Triple H is looking at the roster going, man, that guy would have been nice. I wish the old, mustache didn't chop him off.
Right.
Yeah, WWE's women division is so great. They needed Jade to come in and save it. Plus, Sheeta would mop the floor with any woman in that division. Oh, time. That's where this is. Oh, real. Let's start with the Jade comment. Jade ain't saving shit. Jade's enhancing. Jade's a gem on a crown that's already full of gems. Don't be silly. And again, if Sheeta was to sign with the WWE right now, she might be the 10th, 11th, 12th best female wrestler on the roster. There's at least, off the top of my head, 7 to 10 that are better than her in the ring and with the mic. Yeah, let's not be naive here, my guy.
You have that.
No,
I don't know how to follow it up, so you can have that.
I got this one.
Yeah, you run it down for a first down. Go ahead, my guy.
Yeah, that's a little naive. I mean, I just watched a match between who did we get on Wednesday? It was Sky Blue and who was in the number one contender? Willow?
Red Velvet. So they had the Crips and the Bloods going at it.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be a dark match in WWE. That's a house show match, maybe. No, and all
I'm gonna need you to put some
not good
on Sky Blue, or at least on that wagon.
It's not good. Yeah, so what? I mean, she's got what she got. But the match, if you watch that match and go, man, this is really top level women's wrestling. You need to watch a Charlotte Flair match. You need to watch a Becky Lynch match, a Bayley match, an Asuka match, a Belair match, a Tiffany match.
I still argue Impact could win it.
I
wouldn't say AEW's the top. They'd be third almost.
I think AEW is third. I think they give their women one match a week, and it's usually a pretty mid to average piss break.
I literally had no idea until just now that comment before made sense, because I had no idea that they called themselves the Yes Boys. Literally had no idea.
Right.
That Dance Revolution is their fucking entrance.
Wait, time out. I'm with you. When the fuck did that become a thing?
I don't care, but don't knock it. I've already frozen up enough as it is. Stop knocking my technology. Just enjoy it. Embrace it.
The Yes Boys. Oh, darn.
As I've got Miro with a front face lock on Garcia as he's hulking up right now. Oh, he's gonna. I'm surprised he didn't thrust Dance out of it.
Right.
Miro probably said, "We ain't doing none of that shit, my guy."
Mm-hmm. I like Sheeta. I don't want to give Sheeta a hard time because I know she's getting caught up in this argument. But I like Sheeta. I think she's one of the better female wrestlers. There's just not a lot to work with around her.
Yeah, I think she could be very much built up if she went to WWE. She's not getting dropped in there.
No.
And is a world title picture out of the gate. Mm-mm.
And just going back to the Jade idea that Jade's saving. Jade ain't doing shit. They didn't even rush this lady. She signed what, 2 months ago, Nick? She hasn't seen the fucking inside of her ring yet.
The past, am I wrong in saying that I think the past 2, if not 3 WrestleManias, I know they've been split up over 2 nights, but have been main evented at one point or another by a women's match.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty big testament to how WWE views their women's division, even under Vince.
Well, not even that. Yeah, and beyond that, it wasn't like they were done matches. Like we had match of the year candidates, with Becky and Belair and such. And again, you find me an AEW women's match, I will watch it. I'll watch it live with whoever wants to talk about it. But if you can find me a match at any of that caliber, even, when was the last time the AEW's women division had a rivalry that even came close to Becky and Trish? And you and I didn't even love that rivalry, but it's better than anything else that we're getting on the other side.
Fair enough. But what we're getting currently on both sides is I've got
a lot of sides.
Garcia I've got Miro with a super kick. I've got Bobby Lashley watching on as we've got Ford, Pete Dunne, and Elton Prince all in the ring right now. And thank you that they're actually doing it how a trios match should be done. If you're going to do it that way, especially a tag match, is one member from each team in the ring.
3 men in the ring, not messing around with tagging your opponents in. Again, never liked it. Doesn't make sense. And this allows the action to be pretty good.
Right.
Oh, I got Magic Daddy Coke. Our friend Coke.
Don't say that. You can't. Father James Mitchell, then.
This one, JT Max. Welcome.
Yes, he's from one of the Discords that I shout us out in and everything like that. So, by the way, go ahead, and I know I put our Discord link up early in the chat, so go ahead, go and check that out. So you can talk all things wrestling. We got not just the wrestling, we talk about anything and everything 100%. Really but when we're not live, the few and far between times that happens.
Right. So I guess you guys would say Flair, Belair, Lynch, Asuka, Bayley, Io. I would give you those, but Tiffany on that list is laughable. Give Tiffany some credit, man. Give Tiffany some credit.
You put some respect on Tiff's name.
I would take Tiffany over 80% of the AEW women's roster. Three women, maybe four that I can think of off the top of my head that I would sign before I'd sign Tiffany.
I think part of and you got to look at this across the board, not just to make this whole Tiffany thing, like how it became almost just a Sheeta thing, as we've still got all the matches going on right now. So I'll say this quickly. Tiffany's young and still has a bunch of room to grow and still has a bunch of shit to learn and everything like that, and is still talented as where she's at. She's already at that level at a young spot in her career. So that's almost more of an investment on signing somebody like her, of knowing where that's going to end up in 5-10 years versus somebody that's going to have you a great 1 to 2 years.
Yep. Miro all over Garcia, by the way, setting up the clutch.
I've got right now him in a looks like a sharpshooter-ish, as I've got Ridge. No, I've got sharpshooter as now.
Oh, Miro's... I got it over.
Really? How did you get ahead of me on TNT?
Yeah, that's rare. But yeah,
that's fine. I'll take you on par with SmackDown.
And we're going for we are going for the beats of the Bowery, but not at the moment.
Now we are. Oh. Yep.
Street Profits in the mix. Oh, now they're getting it.
Now I got the clutch. I'm way behind you on that. So let me see if I can
do it. Pause up.
You're good. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I could see Omega being the double with the Young Bucks playing. It all could work. Oh, Dale. Ooh, I don't know if I love that.
JV mentioned this in our Discord like a couple days ago about because the whole tie-in with like Jericho and everything, and that they already kind of anticipate that MJF's gonna this man went into full detail of like thought out every avenue of this, but I think that's one of those outlier potential ideas.
Interesting. I would be shocked. And again, it would kind of feel out of left field, right?
Oh, yeah. As I'm in a commercial on SmackDown right now.
And CJ Perry's talking to Andrade. I think she's propositioning him. You get an extra bonus. Ooh. Wink, wink. You look what?
What?
This is interesting.
Now, how did...
So he's entering the climax with CJ Perry.
What's the on that?
You heard me.
That the name of that group?
You heard me.
We thought Schism and all of that was bad. The climax.
I believe what just happened was CJ Perry said, if you join the Continental Cup tournament and do well, you get a special bonus, and then whispered in his ear, and now he's in. So really interesting.
No, really, it's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going.
Right.
Is that seriously the name of any sort of faction, any sort of thing?
No,
I thought you were dead serious because you heard me. I'm like, oh my god,
CJ Perry's faction
working for Tony Khan.
CJ Perry's faction is now known as the Climax.
Oh god, don't you put that evil out there.
Tiffany truly held her own against Becky Lynch, so has a lot. She has a lot of potential, absolutely. And I still think there's a lot of untapped talent in NXT. And again, like Nick said, they gave 85% of NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1 to the women, including their breakouts. So good for them.
There we go.
Oh.
What?
Jade's last match versus Statlander was a good match. It was all right. It was pretty good.
As we're getting Statlander versus Sky Blue at Full Gear, I believe, correct?
Yeah. No, it's triple threat. Julia Hart.
Oh, Well, then, either way, my point still stands.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Statlander. I think she's going to end up dropping this title because she has done she's been there for other people to bounce off of the whole time she's had this title. Realistically, she has not had a prominent feud with this belt.
It's because Tony Khan is not booking his women accordingly. And outside of Tony Storm, none of the women are overly interesting. They're just people who wrestle. And that becomes the biggest problem. There is no angle. There is no storyline. There is no rivalry. You know what the most important thing in Statlander's storyline right now is? The other two women in the triple threat.
I was going to say, I would argue Julia Hart's kind of over.
Yeah.
That's more because it became around fall and everybody was into spooky goth chicks at that time.
Yeah. Our buddy Anthony says if Julia Hart doesn't win it this time, she's out.
I could see her winning it. And that's the thing is if Stat loses it, I want her to go after the world title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Stat drops the belt, you keep the program going that way. I would. This one's
right.
Friend of yours.
I guess that's good to know.
That's it. He's earning his paycheck.
That's implying I take one, sir.
Yeah, no shit. Pause. Schism was bad, but that's because it was always made them lose. Joe Gacy is such an awesome talent. I agree with this. We talked about the underutilization of Gacy and how bad Schism has been, Nick.
Oh, absolutely. I still wish that we could still have the Grizzly Young Vets in WWE instead of out there killing it on the indies already. Yeah. But Joe Gacy is an untapped talent. You said he's very much like a kind of like a Wyatt Jr. almost. He has that potential.
Yeah, I think he has a void to fill. Like, I mean, I think he would do it well. You know, you had The Undertaker, you had Bray. Then you need the next guy. And unfortunately, Bray didn't get the career as the House of Black is coming out. Speaking of dark and spooky, I guarantee that is a talent that Triple H I know somewhere he has it in his mind. If I can get this guy back, I will do wonderful things with this guy.
Oh, Malachi?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He's like, fuck. He's literally looking at they're doing exactly what we would have done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think of his NXT entrance and coming up off the board, and he didn't mess around. He was
yeah. I was just trying to do his intro song there.
Like I think it's Danish metal.
Well, yeah, he is.
You crazy Dutch bastard!
Yeah, Danish
at all.
At this point, because he's been Malachi Black and Alistair and everything like that, that I was trying to remember his like original like indie name, and it was evading me.
Did you remember it? Because now
we're good. Moving on.
Vampire Jericho lurking for the possibility of sucking the last drop of blood out of MJF. I might have an absolute meltdown if it's like it was me all along, MJF, and it's Jericho.
Watch it be Tony Khan.
By the way, this triple threat match is clicking.
Oh yeah, this match is still going on. By the way, so we've got B-Fab partnering up with Bobby.
I'm curious. Okay. I'm ready to write this off. How do you feel about it?
With the B-Fab thing is you can have that. I don't care. It's inconsequential to me. I'm indifferent on it. It's irrelevant.
I insist.
All right. I insist.
Wow, Miro versus Garcia was intense. Not bad. Our buddy Mac Daddy Magic, whatever. Definitely getting
so we have the Yes Boys on SmackDown and we have the Boys on Collision.
Yeah, we do.
Bro, if this isn't a fucking squash match and a half, I don't know what is AEW wrestling.
Yeah, unfortunate. There you go.
2, 3 as Dawkins seals the win for the Street Profits.
Nice. I love that finisher. I'm glad they mixed up their finisher when they turned heel. And yeah, your number one contenders.
Absolutely.
Doesn't that make you feel like the Judgment Day might not have those tag belts much longer?
Are they defending them recent, like coming up here?
No, they're not listed to because they just beat.
So you think? Oh, so you're just saying that they just drop it to the Profit?
I just wonder if they lose it to someone else along the way.
Okay, so that we don't get Judgment Day versus the Profits, because that'd be heel on heel action.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wonder if that's an indication of, the Judgment Day are going to have to move on from these belts, or like you said, maybe this is like all right, let's split them.
They split them, and well, you guys were the number one contenders, so you get the SmackDown belts, and they keep the Raw belt, something like that.
I could get behind something like that.
Did you hear about Road Dogg being on SmackDown commentary? Yes, we did hear about the DOGG.
Yeah, couldn't miss it.
Street Profits win. Yes, you're good.
It's over, by the way. The Kings of the Black House have won.
Dude, you said that all sorts of awkwardly. The Kings of the Black Throne is what their name is.
I know.
I still haven't even gotten there, but I've got
Lashley out here, happy as a proud daddy, proud papa.
Right.
Oh, Holland pushes Butch. Bro. Get away from me, bruv.
You what, bruv? But is it that interesting, because we've seen it to where Sheamus has been advertised for a couple upcoming SmackDowns that he might be coming back soon off of injury.
Sheamus trying to keep they start kind of getting on each other's nerves, and Sheamus returns
to pull everything back together.
Maybe. Ridge Holland pissed. They lose a lot. I'd be upset too.
Hey, I've got Bianca back here trying to recruit Mitchie in here.
A couple people mentioned, is Bianca going to be a member of the women's team? But I thought she already was, guys. Like, I didn't think that was in question.
Yeah, when did that become an issue? When was that discussed?
People were saying that maybe tonight she'd become a member. She's looking for a fourth mission. I yelled out mission last week when we were debating it, and I wonder if it's something to get Mission involved.
She doesn't have anything else going on at this point because everybody else is sitting on the sides.
Right.
I don't know if you heard me, but I said you're good.
What's that? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do the tag titles that way, Nick. I think they'll make a new belt for the undisputed titles. I hope they're as good as the Raw one. And introduce world tag titles for Raw. That's the pattern they've been doing.
Oh my God, we're just going to get now double mini versions, and that's the tag belts. Like, hell no with that.
A guy I know really well actually went out and purchased that the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, Boston really went out there and sat there and spent $500 just to control us.
Not us.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Not us.
But still, I mean, he got a $500 belt out of it and everything like that. So good on you, lad. But still, at the same time, that belt is dog shit.
Well, on that, Brian Cage is here.
I have Trent coming out right now, but I have KJ leaving right now as he's taking a pause for the cause here. Julia video promo, the boys, fast, what up? Well, the boys lost. I've got Trent coming out right now as I'm in a commercial break on SmackDown. TJ, what up? Fazzy Dub. Oh no, it's a woman's video promo, but light tube match, you and me. You can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. But I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. We were just here last night covering not only Impact with Anthony and Luna, but then came back for Wrestling Revolver. Myself and KJ were here all night through the wee hours of the morning watching Wrestling Revolver Unreal, and we're going to be back at it like a jackrabbit. I'm getting thrown off by Brian Cage out here doing his best Terminator fucking cosplay with this makeup. But we'll be back here tomorrow night for Full Gear, and we're just on the tippy toes of 3K 100%. So if you haven't done so already, be a friend, tell a friend, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification, because we show up for anything and everything. And you never know when we're going to show up or drop something new. But absolutely appreciate everybody that's been here, everybody that's here tonight, 100%. We're still moving along, and there's 50 some odd people kicking around. And like I said, we're on the tippy toes here of 3K subscribers, which I know KJ was mentioning before when I was on a pause there about how AEW's made no real mention of the fact that they're going head to head with SmackDown tonight. They've not tried to call it out. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, man's pulling out Full Gear backgrounds behind me. But they very much have ignored this fact, tried to not draw attention to it, versus when they go to toe-to-toe with NXT. It's very much Tony Khan's out here trying to play tiptoe by the window to, avoid this comparable. But I've got Penta coming out right now. So we've got Cage, Beretta, Commander, and Penta out here all to see who's going to take on Christian Cage, I guess, later tonight on Rampage, which to me doesn't make a ton of sense, especially if you're going to do it the night before the pay-per-view. Granted, these could be taped. I think they could be live, but as all of Damage Control is now instantly jumping mission, so it's one of those. That's going to be the thing that you've got to deal with now with Damage Control. If you're seen talking to the enemy, now you've got to deal with 5 people jumping you. They're out here on that gang shit. Now that I have Road Dogg on commentary, this harkens back even more of why do I need Kevin Patrick on commentary? This literally still constantly always looks like bring your kid to work day, or you're watching, somebody that's still in training on how to be a wrestling commentator, which respect. I know, I'm sure it's probably a hard gig. I mean, it's hard, I say jokingly, doing what we do. But to do that, if you're going to be a commentator in WWE, I feel like you should probably already be able to kind of handle your sugar honey iced tea. Just saying. But now I'm getting a replay from Crown Jewel with the Ray Logan match that set up the whole turn on Escobar, as everybody's kicking off right now with Collision. Everybody looks like they're about to go flying on Brian Cage here. Commander gets the assisted twisting assault on the outside onto Brian Cage. Is now Trent's going to toss Penta here. Oh, feeds him the elbow, says, thanks for coming here. This is going to be an awesome match. No, it's me putting shards of glass in. Wait, what? Why are you doing that? Don't turn into Jigsaw on me out here. Hey, brothers, what up? What up, Jordan? Brian Cage looks like Max Thunder from Streets of Rage 2. Shout out, Dale. It's going to be the man, big time Bex. That's been the foregone conclusion here, it seems. But I still wonder, if you could grab somebody like a Mickie James, why wouldn't you do that? That's the feeling I get with that, is why would you not pull the trigger on something like that? As much as Becky needs something to do, she also doesn't always need to be involved in something. As Cage is picking up. Cage just picked up Commander off the second rope, suplex onto the outside, onto both men on the outside. So everybody's down on the outside right now. Wow. That's a unique ass spot of a can transition to the outside here. But Cage still looks like he's still wearing his Sega gear, because he's got the Sega lettering down the side of his leg. Who's your pick in the 4-way match to face Christian Cage? Ooh. Good question. I'm trying to think babyface wise. Shit. Maybe Penta? I'll take Penta. Because maybe do they have Christian drop the title before the tag match? That would be hella interesting. Very rushed, but could happen, I almost feel. No way, suplex to the outside. Yeah, that was, I know it sounds pretty basic saying it, but that was 100% a badass way to do that. As I've got Dragon Lee coming out right now. Speaking of Lucha, and how he was only on NXT for a hop, skip, and a jump here. But now he's officially part of the SmackDown roster. So we've got Dragon Lee coming out right now, as I've got Brian Cage hot dog and a grandstand in here. As we're in picture on one, and we've got a replay from earlier today of Dragon Lee asking Nick Aldis for a match tonight. Streets of Cage. Dragon Lee! Yes. These new theme songs on SmackDown are hitting. Fair enough. So we're getting Dragon Lee versus Axiom. Oh my God. I'm glad that they didn't give Dragon Lee the freeze up spot then, like they did in NXT. Maybe that's why they didn't, because they had to save it all for Axiom. So we're getting essentially, and for those who want to discredit NXT, we are essentially getting an NXT match right now on Friday Night SmackDown, and it's getting kind of a prominent spot. This is what we're having to go into the top of the hour here, I feel, of Dragon Lee versus Axiom, who, mind you, has not been doing much in NXT as of late. Could he be moved up to the main roster of, we start to get really this kind of more high-flying, faster pace, 205 live division on SmackDown a bit. But so let me know who you're taking, folks, whether you're taking Dragon Lee or Axiom, as I'm in commercial break fully on Collision. I've got Axiom coming out, formerly known as A-Kid, right now to take on Dragon Lee. And they're doing a whole video package for this kid, so maybe he's getting moved up as well. Lee for the win. NXT match on SmackDown, not watching Collision. Fair enough. Well, I will tell you that you're going to miss out on a hell of a match if you're not going to watch Axiom versus Dragon Lee. But you can have that. I'm just saying it shows you the caliber of the talent that they have in NXT. That these are guys that they can put up on the main roster and are still going to deliver. Lee to win, Dragon Lee. That's who Dragon Lee is fighting. As we are back from commercials, I've got Cage with a pump handle like exploder flapjack, something or other there on a Beretta. As we are underway with Dragon Lee versus Axiom. For some reason, Axiom reminds me of the masked magician X from America's Got Talent. Doesn't ring a bell to me, sir. I'm watching WWE on my tablet and AEW on my TV. Fair enough. Then I'm assuming you're watching us on your phone, which I appreciate still. Any way you can watch us, I appreciate it. Headlock by Dragon Lee on Axiom as, Commander just tossed Penta into Cage in the bottom of the turnbuckle there. So roll through Commander with a 1-2 count on Beretta. Dragon Lee already flying on the outside here. In fast-paced action on both channels right now, folks. Chain of suplexes from Beretta onto Commander.
Speaking of Commander.
Officer Doofy reporting for duty.
I want to just quickly say something. I know I just jumped back in here, but I find it ironic on a night where WWE is going head-to-head with Collision that we kind of get an AEW vibe match. In two masked men, it's not really known as the WWE's forte. And I know I saw the comment about, well, an NXT match on WWE.
Well, that's because that's what I said it was.
Yeah, no, but an NXT, you're right, an NXT match on
WWE. Rana, sorry.
But I believe that I find it ironic that you'll watch the lucha style wrestling of AEW and then WWE puts on the same style match and people go, I'm tuning that out.
It's brand, you get blinded by brand loyalty.
Right. Both matches have been good. This Fatal 4-Way has been entertaining. I'm half thinking, I'll be honest, based on they're trying to find a number one contender for Christian Cage, I'm thinking that Edge is going to turn tomorrow.
Really?
Well, wouldn't it be
what solidifies that more for you?
Just because now you're going to set up another contender. So say it's a Penta. You're going to go after Christian, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But let's just say, I think it lends well to them kind of teaming up and holding on to that belt, opposed to, I assumed, Copeland going after that belt.
I think he could just drop it and we don't get that belt involved in that, and we just move on from the belt being involved in the story. And this is more of a personal feud that doesn't need a belt.
Dropping the TNT title to one of these four seemed crazy to me.
Penta
would probably be my top pick. That's why I used him as the example. Oh, huge tope off the back, over the ropes, onto Cage. And oh, here comes Commander onto Penta. Topes everywhere.
I don't know if I'm ahead or behind you.
I got Commander going up to the top rope.
I've got Penta with a super kick.
Is Commander going to win the number one contendership?
If he does, then it's going to be a squash match on Rampage.
Oh,
well, I don't want to say a squash match, but it's going to be a predictable ass match.
Oh,
now I got the big tope on the outside.
Trent Beretta. Holy shit! Put the question mark back on his name. Is your new number one contender?
Really?
Who saw that coming? So does that set up like a best friends against? So Orange Cassidy wins tomorrow, and then, even though I didn't pick him, and then Christian and Edge team up to go up against the best friends. Trent Beretta later tonight. Nah, I don't know. Just a one-off, I guess.
That to me, that tells me that that's kind of a one-off thing.
Yeah, Trent Beretta is the number one contender for the TNT title. As we're getting a replay of the holy shit show.
Right. Well, I just got Axiom hitting a springboard moonsault on the outside on a Dragon Lee. I still love that. Trent with the awful waffle for the win.
We got Hobbs and Don Callis on Collision talking about, again, I know you and I didn't do both, and I know you're going to take a pause in a second. But I really didn't like Hobbs getting taped up and looking weak at the end of that match. But I feel, again, it's another example of Jericho taking the heat off somebody.
But you don't think Hobbs laying out the Big Show like that and everything wasn't a huge moment?
I think that should have been the lasting visual for Hobbs. I
will give you that.
Yeah. Like, if Hobbs would have done that to Big Show later in the match, and then he didn't make it back to the ring in time, that would have sufficed. And then maybe Jericho picks up the win, and then Hobbs comes in and clears some house because he's pissed off that he was in the back playing with Big Show. Pause.
Well, I could see it to where, like you said there, of Team Babyface gets the win, Kenny, Jericho, all of that, they get the win. And then the last shot as you fade out, the lower third, everything is Hobbs just sitting there over Big Show after you just laid him out and just talking shit to him. Mm-hmm. That's the way you end the show, after you go from the shot of everybody celebrating and then you cut to the back and you've got Hobbs just laying out Big Show.
Do we get a lights out or are we going to commercial?
I'm behind you on Collision and not going to catch up. So,
oh no, I think I don't know. My shit just went black. Oh, we went to commercial. I think like you said, if that's your last visual of Hobbs is him just standing over the Big Show, who he just bounced off the hood of a car, and then you can have Jericho take his W because Jericho Hogan's got to do what he's got to do,
right?
And we move on. I didn't love the idea of Hobbs being taped. And I know some people out there are going to say that's picky, but I want to build Hobbs up as a destroyer. And he decimated Jericho and then comes back, this week, and Jericho and Kenny just taped him down like they were red-green. It was ridiculous.
He's somebody that if you're going to build AEW and have it continue and be prospering, that's a guy you build to be a top guy in your future. 100%. That's a blue chip prospect.
Yeah, it's a guy that you can use to build your company without signing your competition's leftovers.
Yeah, that's a guy you have built in-house, and that's why, like you said earlier, of MJF may be more of the heart and soul of AEW than even Cody was, because Cody was a guy from the outside that came in. MJF is a guy that felt like he was built from within. Hobbs is a guy that feels like he's built from within.
Yeah, absolutely. And King here saying Hobbs looks like a beast after slaying. He did. I thought so. I liked the spot. I mean, again, I think they were aiming for the middle of the car, and Big Show can't jump the way he used to. How about that?
But now notice he didn't slap the car and say, "You know what's that? Real glass, Crimea River,
real metal,
real. That's real Paul White."
Maybe Copeland cost Christian the belt tonight. That would be deep on a Rampage.
Do you think that anything, beyond the Christian Edge feud out of that 6-man tag match, that anything coming out of that affects Sting's final match? Like, could it be Darby gets involved or Flair gets involved or anything that could set up something with Sting down the road?
Sting, Darby versus Copeland, and Spanish
fly to end all Spanish flies.
Woo! And again, when someone says, "Oh, I'm not watching this match," I mean, it's good. Why would you not watch this match?
That's the thing, is have fun missing out on greatness. Well, not greatness, but goodness. Right. We'll say goodness.
I just saw Commander and Penta and everybody running around doing their topes, and they're like, "This is awesome." What's the difference?
But see, what makes this great, though, is that WWE, like you said, this is something that they don't do that often. Mm-hmm. They pull it out of, once in a blue moon, I guess, pun intended.
Yeah.
Versus AEW, you see it 2 to 3 times a show. V-trigger from Dragon Lee after he Axiom kicks out.
I'm still waiting for Luchasaurus to turn on Christian. Interesting. So, yeah, Wardlow stomping out
here. 3. Dragon Lee picks up the 1, 2, 3.
And Nick, you and I talked about this, the potential of Triple H going into some type of light heavyweight, junior heavyweight. I hate to say the word cruiserweight. Oh, wow. Local enhancement talent is about to get decimated. Sorry. Sidetrack.
Wardlow coming out here.
Yeah, it's over. Wardlow going to the top.
I haven't even gotten him getting in the ring yet, and you've already got the match over, in case anyone is wondering how fast that match happens.
I wish I'm going to try a different...
No, you're fine. Here. You do.
There we go. Nick's going to take a pause for the cause, folks. Dragon Lee picks up the win. So if you pick Dragon Lee on your bingo card, dob away. You got another one. And Wardlow is decimating some young, poor, aspiring wrestler who's going to just be a grocery bag boy by tomorrow. Wardlow not holding back. I can't believe this match is still ongoing. Oh, wait, the ref calling for the bell. Smackdown 2-0. There you go. I will remind everybody, our prediction title will be on the line tomorrow for Full Gear. We're going to go head-to-head with everybody. We will take your predictions on every match, and the winner gets their name put next to the big shiny belt on the 2-man coverage of our streams. Pastor Jeff, good luck. We've yet to have anybody retain the title. And to our former champion, AJ, don't lie about your score. Why is the crowd so dead? Evansville, Indiana, that says enough. Listen, I'm Canadian. I have no idea why Evansville, Indiana means quiet crowd. I think the crowd's been okay. I call Dragon Lee's finisher the Dragon Bane. Send him a letter. Canadian Destroyer everywhere. 2-0, says AJ. Poor Wardlow. Dragon Lee match was good. I'm with you, buddy. I completely agree with that. I thought the Dragon Lee match was excellent. Right now, they're running through the card for Full Gear, and I believe right now there's 9 matches on the card. Triple threat, Julia Hart, Statlander, Sky Blue. Trios match, Christian, Lucha, Nick Wayne, Adam Copeland, Darby Allin, and Sting. What match are you looking forward to? If you're watching us right now, what are you excited for when it comes to Full Gear? Tony Storm taking on Hikaru Shida. A 4-way ladder match, by the way, just been upgraded to a ladder match. That is now highly entertaining. LFI, Ricky Starks, and Big Bill, FTR, and the Kings of the Black Throne, all in a ladder match. And then, of course, MJF and Jay White for your title. Plus, we might find out who the masked person is. We might not. We also might find out who this big signee is. So, yeah, a lot of intrigue going into tomorrow. What is your fave WWE video package of all time? Triple H. And I almost wish Nick was here at this point because I know he'd start singing. But off the top of my head, AJ, I really like, the package of when Sting was, not Sting, when Triple H was recovering from his torn quads. But they've had so many. So hard to argue. So hard to pick. Sorry. How many matches so far have we had on Collision? I believe we're on match number 3 for Collision. But right now, Ricky Starks and Big Bill are coming out to the ring. And SmackDown is still on commercial. Do you think LA Knight gets a rematch? I would like LA Knight to get a rematch, and I'm really curious what they do with LA Knight. Does he turn his focus to like the US title? I don't know, but I hope they keep him relevant. I really do. Taking on Jimmy tonight, for those who don't know, as Dax the Axe, by the way, the new moniker for Dax Harwood, Dax the Axe. Cash Wheeler giving him a hug, sending him on about his business. I'm interested in the AEW tag team ladder match tomorrow night. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of curious about the Fatal 4-Way as it was. Now it's going to be a ladder match. So strap in and strap on. That one's going to be high octane. And Dax going one-on-one tonight, which means he's probably going to lose. Dax doesn't win too many singles matches as he's taking on Roosh. Roosh! Hangman Page versus Swerve, Texas Death Match. I still say this. I'm looking forward to that match. I mean, for those who don't know, Wrestling Revolver last night, Swerve got jumped by Page at Revolver. I think they've done well. I think that Swerve has gotten the best out of Adam Page, the best Adam Page we've seen in a long time. I still do wish it wasn't a Texas Death Match. Right? You got a Fatal 4-Way for the tag titles, a ladder match. That's going to be chaos, big spots. I mean, if you wanted to do a cage match or something else, maybe I'd go with it. But why not just 2 premier wrestlers in your company having a straight up a hell of a match? That Full Gear card is stacked, going to be good. I'm glad you think so. I really do. I'm a little perplexed. I mean, about some of it. I don't know. I mean, the triple threat for the TBS title, maybe not the most exciting thing for me. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. Is anybody looking forward to the trios match with Adam Copeland, Sting, and everybody else? But to give everybody an update, Dax and Roosh are kicking it off. So if you got a prediction on that match, let me know. And Santos Escobar is in the ring addressing the crowd. And he is getting booed. Yeah, booing. Who's your pick? Dax Harwood versus Rush. I'm going Roosh. Dax Harwood generally loses single matches. Santos' entrance is great. I loved what Santos Escobar did on NXT. I thought it's funny because we're watching LGI, Los Ingobernables, on AEW, and I feel like Santos Escobar was just the same in NXT. I thought he created a really great persona, and I like that they're giving this man some love, giving him some TV time, giving him a microphone. I think this is excellent. Dax versus Rush. Oh, yeah. Yeah, should be a banger. 2 heavy-hitting dudes. I always used to say, Larry, that Santos is doing Andrade's gimmick better than Andrade did it. But they're showing Zelina Vega and LWO in the back as Dax gets back body dropped on the floor. Dun, dun, dun. Going with Roosh. I don't know why he's Russian in my head, but you got it. Dax for the win. Roosh for the win. Dax has one win in singles competition, and it's against Cash. Yeah, amen. In one of those tournaments, that is it. That is Cash's only single match. 100% accurate, C money, and it makes me laugh. Right, the guy. I get it. You're a tag team specialist, but you can't win one. The only guy you beat was your buddy. Going with Roosh. I like this from Santos. I don't know how you guys are feeling out there. I like this. He's talking to the camera. He's clear. He's concise. He's playing to the crowd between points. Do you think Ric Flair will be a factor in the match? I think Ric Flair is the guy in the mask. No, I don't. Ric Flair, I could see taking a bump. Christian kind of going after Ric Flair for the, trying to generate, that extra heat. Christian's been great for generating that extra heat. So, yeah, I could 100% see Ric Flair somehow getting involved. Will he be a factor? I mean, could Ric Flair turn on Sting? Maybe. But do we really need a heel Ric Flair? Does that really help?
Tale as old as time, Ric Flair turning on Sting. And I was about to ask, is he taking a bump like a Tony Khan and James Mitchell bump, or an actual bump in the ring?
He's moved on to the organic.
Because he might do both. He might do both.
Yeah, I heard he's more on the organic stuff nowadays.
He's on the shrooms, that shroom energy drink. But 100% though, like what you were saying and how you've been saying of Escobar's just doing Andrade better than Andrade did in WWE. Absolutely right now. 100%. Man's out here with a Louis Vuitton belt on and everything, just styling and profiling and just tearing Ray a new one.
Yeah, and I think he's doing well. Like even taking the dramatic pauses, like taking the moment to look at the crowd, milk the booze.
Looking directly down the camera and everything like that. And by the way, with Dax and Roosh, this match is going to be snugger than a bug in a rug here.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going. But we laughed at the fact that Dax has only ever beat Cash in a singles competition.
It's what happens, you got to have your tag stream partner 100%.
That's it. So yeah, Roosh taking a rest.
Zelina said, "I've had enough of this."
Oh.
Well, there was questions, there was wonderings of where Zelina would lie in this whole situation. Yep. And also, she's gotten a lot of praise for her whole work throughout this angle, throughout this story.
Yep. No, Zelina's good. And I mean, I know a lot of people were like, I can't believe they pushed Zelina up and they put her with Santos. But this is why. She's just, she gets it. I mean, dude, she's had a really good year. I mean, we were really behind what happened for her in Puerto Rico this year. And look at her. She's into this. It's got vibes. It's got feel.
The one and only queen of the ring. But still, that's the thing is, like you said, imagine if this was Andrade.
Oh, my God.
She slapped him.
What do the 5 fingers say to the face?
Slap.
Knocked the taste out of that man's mouth. And he just
But that's
smiled.
The thing is, imagine, though, if this was an Andrade. You had it. And Escobar's just done it tenfold.
He is heartbroken and gorgeous all at the same time. Oh, isn't that cute? Look, he's giving Lowo shit all around.
Yeah, even his boys there.
I'm impressed, man. He is garnering heat up the wazoo right now. Excellent.
They're gonna hug it out with him. This is it, from everything I've said or read, I should say, that it's meant to be these three versus Ray whenever he comes back, Carlito, and maybe a third.
3 of us together.
Zelina gonna hit him with the chacleta. Yes, 100%.
Right. And Dax and Roosh are beating the living shit out of each other. We don't mean to be ignoring Collision right now, guys, but
no, that's fine.
I really kind of enjoying what Santos is doing here.
This is what happens, though.
Maybe it is Los Lotharios. He needs new backup, dude.
Oh, really?
That
would be interesting.
We're gonna get a Mexican standoff.
As he just takes out Walking Wild there, DJ Zima Ion hits him in the back, pulls a Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and man, the crowd's been with this, booing the entire time. We were talking when you went on break, the crowd being a little bit quiet, even for the cruiserweight match. They weren't jumping for joy. They've been pretty voluminous, and they're on their feet if you look in the background.
What this is, though, this reminds me and why we like when these companies go head to head, and why we're not one of those that wants the other company. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. But
hey, man, what's your problem?
Right, but we want both companies to do well, because this reminds me 100% of like the Monday Night Wars. If we had the technology to watch them both at the same time, synced up and everything, this is what it would be of, oh, this is really compelling over here. Oh, this is really great over here. So we're not focusing too much over here.
Yeah. This guy has potential. He has all the potential. You keep booking him like that, he's perfectly fine. And I think this is good for Carlito. Carlito's return to WWE has been a little subdued, and I think this is a nice rivalry. I still don't trust the two guys that just got jumped. They could change their mind at any moment. But there has been rumors that maybe Los Lotharios join Santos as he's
I do like that idea.
Yeah.
They were set up initially to kind of already go to the main roster. It kind of felt like, and it had kind of been rumored. Granted, I don't know how I feel about them just doing like the American Wolves, like with the tattoo and everything.
Yeah.
A little bit much, but I could see them being with Escobar.
Yeah. Now we're getting a replay of what happened last week with Kevin Owens and Waller and LA Knight, but Dax is up on the top. And I know we were talking about Escobar a lot, guys, but this match is hard-hitting, good pace, good wrestling.
Right. Well, I see King here saying that. I'm not sure if I've caught it or if I'm caught up with you yet, but yeah, it looks like Rush's chest might be bleeding from taking too many chops.
Clean yourself up. You're bleeding.
I ain't got time to bleed.
We quote two different movies. I like it.
Well, fitting that I would quote that movie.
Right. We not got two lunatics in WWE, Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar.
I think you were trying to say now, but how are they lunatics? Like what? I mean, you could say we have two lunatics on stream and me and KJ. That's one thing, but
facts. Accurate.
Right.
Crowd's been quiet. Is WWE standard WWE television in 2022, 2023. Ooh, I don't know about that. We've had a lot of ruckus going on in the shows.
Right. As Road Dogg with the Colts championship. I almost feel like, fuck, do I need to buy a Bills one? Because we think that might be the closest we get to a championship in a minute, I feel lately. I love it.
Every show, every city now, they show off the belt for where they are. It's pretty adorable.
I dig it. Think about it. WWE's getting tied in with the Big 12 championship now. They're dealing with TKO that still owns UFC, which is involved with ESPN. They were already a Titan, pun intended, with Titan Towers, and now you've just given Goliath even more fucking power here.
Holy shit. Both men down on the exchange as Waller comes out as we go to a commercial break. And how do you feel about the tag match, the Fatal 4-Way, now being a ladder match, Nick?
What now?
The Fatal 4-Way tomorrow at Full Gear for the tag titles has become a ladder match.
I'm trying now. I gotta look up the card and remember who's in that match here.
It is Big
like a
Bill
bad
and
wrestling
Starks, FTR, House of Black, and LGI.
That's gonna be arguably match of the night.
Yeah, now, I mean, originally it wasn't booked as a ladder match, so that's just a new addition. And I still am a little surprised that we only have, I believe, 9 matches announced.
Yeah, that's what I have right now, unless they add something tonight, which would be interesting. That's still, unless they announce like another 5 matches tonight, be interesting. But yeah, the one pre-show match is the MJF and TBA versus the Guns for the Ring of Honor titles.
Could this the card
seems stacked and seems to have a good pace. It's not overdone like we normally have. And thank God it is on a Saturday instead of a Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's ironic that, we're getting a Saturday pay-per-view, so you would expect, like, Tony would be like, now I can make all the matches. But maybe this is an example of Tony actually listening to the fan base, listening to the rumblings of, you do good shows, but you put in a lot of fucking extra shit.
That's the thing, is I don't want to, knock it because he's actually doing well. Yeah. So just shut up and he'll just keep doing it. It's fine.
I'm perfectly fine with 9. And we talked about this a lot. Quality over quantity.
Absolutely. On May 4th, 2024, Backlash is in France. Yes. Oui.
Yeah, I mean, that's excellent. Again, we talked about, WWE is coming out of the gate for 2024. Huge. 3 straight stadium shows to start the year. Now we're going to France. Now we're going to Germany. Now we still have to announce other big shows that we're going to have in 2024. Man, I mean, we talk about 2023 being a record year and a historic year for WWE. And I know some people don't want to believe it, don't want to hear it, but it is a record-breaking year for this company. It's not backsliding. It's not going the wrong direction. It is setting records, and they're going to continue to do so into 2024. So I'm excited, man. This is global takeover.
But that's the thing, is wrestling feels relevant in the mass consensus again for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
SmackDown commercial break number 5. King saying, what a match.
Yeah. I will give you that right now. Oh, Roosh just face palming Ricky and spitting on him.
Spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Hatui. I like Simone. I heard they had great French toast there. Shut up, French toast. The premier breakfast food next to
you guys, you don't call it freedom toast?
No, I'm not one of them. We don't have freedom fries. We have
no
French
freedom fries.
No, I'm not one of them.
Yeah, no, I don't, Oh, Ricky Starks comes in with the spear. This match is over. And Dax takes the L technically by disqualification.
But this is why I think that, like you were talking about, with it being a ladder match tomorrow, that has the potential to steal this show. That will be probably the match that we talk about the most coming out of that show.
Oh.
As I've got Cameron Grimes coming out on SmackDown.
I was like, wait, Cameron Grimes is saving the day.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Is it, since he's been called up and because he took so much time away and everything like that, respectfully, like Cameron Grimes is super talented, but it just feels like there's no character anymore. Like all the life has been sucked out of this man. He's just generic, default wrestler number 5.
Yeah, quickly, the Kings of the Black Throne are here, and Brody is looking at Big Bill. Oh my Lord.
Dralistico out here, Austin Theory out here on commentary, as we've got Grayson Waller taking on Cameron Grimes as well on SmackDown.
Oh, Big Bill, and instead of hitting each other, Big Bill and Brody grab a ladder, but they're fighting over the ladder.
Those are the least 2 people you think are going to climb that fucking thing.
Yeah, right. And back to your point about Cameron, I just believe Cameron's at that point of his career where you're just spotting him in, you're letting him, like, he's not in a push. He's just, he's a young guy.
The potential. Like, why aren't we doing something, anything?
Yeah, I think he'll get there.
Should he go back to NXT?
He could potentially, yeah.
I think he might work better, respectfully, as an NXT guy. Oh, I hate this fucking finisher.
But he gets dusted. Cameron Grimes got dust. Oh, no, he kicked out.
Two count.
And it looks like they've switched away from that being a finisher. Right now, we got chaos as refs are everywhere. AEW representatives being knocked down. Everybody is fighting.
Total bedlam.
Is this? Yeah. Holy shit.
This should end your show.
It's not. There's more to come.
I know, but that's the thing is what else is going to happen on your show that, folks, man, Christ, I would fucking want this, like, do you end your Rampage even? I hate the fact that we're even having Rampage after this. End your show with this. So, folks, make sure you tune in tomorrow night when we're here live for Full Gear. As everybody in this melee right now is going to be competing in a ladder match right now for the tag titles.
We're going to try and we're going to try and get everything back in order, folks. Have a good night.
Right. Well, that's wrestling commentators are so underrated because we got the gluttony of Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, and we had that for the longest time. And now we've got this haberdashery.
No, I mean, I've said it for a long time. AEW's got a big issue with their commentary. The fact that they moved Tony onto Collision upsets me because I like Kevin Kelly. I think Eric Riccaboni should be used more. Patrice Coleman. No, is it Patrice Coleman?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I got it right. Woohoo. I mean, again, I believe in, again, like you, it's the storytelling, and you want the commentary team to guide the story. Tell the fans what they're supposed to be feeling, thinking in that moment. You're supposed to put the exclamation point on the visual.
They're the narrator. They're the chorus in a Roman Colosseum, in a Roman, drama and everything like that. They're the chorus that's guiding you through the narrative. 100%.
100%. And I feel like too often, there's the win. So
Waller picks up the win.
So yeah, Waller with the W. Collision's on commercial.
Bro,
that was
Theory and Waller need to be with Logan Paul. Just call them insufferable for all I give a shit, because that's what they are.
Insufferable succotash.
Suffering succotash.
Right? It was hard to pull off. We got Zelina in the back crying. Maybe she's going to join War Games.
And then he told me I wasn't good, and he told me to get out of the ring.
And I slapped him.
And I slapped him in the face, and then I walked off. No. She's about to get jumped by Damage Control 100. Solo Sikoa, his time is now.
Wow, that's an interesting statement.
We couldn't get Roman Reigns, so we got his non-local Mexican equivalent in Solo Sikoa.
Now, this can be very interesting how they push Solo Sikoa now. If his time is now, what do you do with him?
He goes after Logan mid-card? He doesn't go after Roman. Where's he go? Does he go after LA Knight?
If he goes after Logan, he's got to be a babyface, though.
Fair.
Ugh, interesting. Yeah. That match was awesome. Yeah, big points for Dax and Roosh. Hard hitting and the great ending. Like you said, it should have been the end of the show. Should have went off the air with that chaos.
Like I said, that's how you sell people to go into your fucking pay-per-view. Folks, it's chaos is broken out amongst the ring here, but make sure you tune in tomorrow night. There you go, yada, yada, yada. 100%. Remember, like I said, we grew up in that generation where Raws would end that way, Nitros would end that way, stuff like that. Something that sells you on that. Christ, our fucking cartoon shows, Dragon Ball Z on the next episode, shit like that. Just pitch to the next thing.
Yeah. How many times would a show go off the air and you're like, oh shit, what happened? What happened? Like you wanted to know so bad.
Right.
Like, they were all fighting in the parking lot.
This is you have the compelling thing, and then 3 non-compelling things happen after that. Like you still got like another 45 minutes of a show. Cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna forget the compelling thing because I'm getting caught up in nonsense.
Well, that's like what happened on Wednesday, Nick, is I felt like Tony did a real disservice to his world champion by having that huge fucking nonsensical street fight. And it wasn't the end of the show. We had to follow that with a promo.
Right.
And MJF looks like a soft pussy.
Aggressive to say.
I was trying to find a nice way to put it, and it didn't come out right. But he looks terribly soft.
This whole thing though has just made it seem super weird. Of like, so this man just holds your title that is technically yours. Like I said, of outside of the Devil feud or that being involved, this whole feud has not been that compelling, that interesting. I know it's going to be a fantastic match because it's two of one of the best pro wrestlers going, but this feud has not been compelling at all.
No, and I think my issue. Oh, here comes Buddy Matthews to the ring.
Oh, we're getting a replay of my favorite segment in WWE history. Price check on Jackass.
This is one of the best shit ever.
Brooke. By the way, for those who aren't watching, we're getting the replay of Booker T and Stone Cold in the grocery store.
Yeah, the best part.
Grocery shopping way more exciting as a kid growing up.
Dude, when he comes out of the milk, yeah.
Hey, Book.
Hey, Book.
My favorite line is price check on Jackass as he leaves the fucking grocery store.
Man, is it too much to ask that our wrestling goes back to this shit?
No, but I think that's why I think Sami Callihan could be the signing for AEW, because the whole indie shit spot that showed up and everything that went great, as I saw we predicted. Zelina gets taken up by Damage Control.
Yeah, Gail called that, by the way. Sorry, Nick.
No, you're good. But having those spots like that to where it's when I see what's on site. That's what's missing from wrestling at times, of really that continuing that it's wrestling is its own universe. So make that universe expand a little bit.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. And I mean, again, do it in a way like you go back to that segment, and that segment is stupid as shit, but it was so believable and so like, yeah, that Stone Cold would do this. And you were right there, especially as a young wrestling fan. You were drawn right in of like, get him.
Well, because you had also built in those segments. Like, yes, in theory, you would have you pitched that. That sounds ridiculous as shit. As I've got Yuta coming out right now, and I saw some people saying that Liv Morgan could be the mystery partner as well, which would be interesting. But you had those segments, and they felt real because you bought into these people as as a human being. Like, that was them. Like even MJF was, now he's done the whole babyface thing, and he was bigging somebody up because he was at a recent signing and everything. And somebody commented underneath it on good old Twitter, I missed when you stayed in character. And MJF snapped back with 100%. I'm never a character. This is me. This is my life. And that's what made guys like Austin doing stuff like that. Like The Rock out there on top of a bridge, throwing the smoking skull belt into the river and shit like that. Believable, because you believed these fuckers would actually do that.
What's up, wrestling? And I completely agree with that. And that's where we're not getting enough of that anymore. For those keeping track at home, and we will take a prediction, Wheeler Yuta is taking on Buddy Matthews.
I'll take Buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy.
Buddy and me. Yeah, let's go, Buddy. Come on, Buddy.
What?
Buddy Matthews wrestling? He's wrestling Wheeler Yuta, and we're getting a replay of John Cena getting annihilated by Solo Sikoa.
But that's a good way to set this up. If this man sent John Cena, the GOAT, arguably the Tom Brady of WWE of recent memory, sent him packing.
All right. Stone Cold Sting and That's Amore down the aisle.
Oh, yeah. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Here you go. Check on Jackass.
Right.
Collision was very solid. 10 out of 10. Okay, Faz.
I'm so sorry. I like so much how we've got the transformation from Heyman going fucking white as a ghost, not only in the face and in the hair. To now that Roman's back, we've got the bloodline kind of back on at least a course, maybe not the right course, but on a course, as Heyman's out here still full Paulrus the Walrus spray tan, dyed hair, bigging up Solo.
Jimmy smiling away. And again, Paul doing for Solo what he did for Roman and so many others. It seems like a recipe for success.
From West Newbury, Massachusetts.
Wait.
I like that. So Heyman's calling out Cena right now.
Knowing he's not there.
And knowing he's not going to be here because Solo Sikoa put the biggest beatdown of John Cena's career on him at Crown Jewel. And now you wait. Heyman's gonna get towards the end of this, and you can hear
Right.
do 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 do.
Right. That'd be surprising as shit. But yeah, Paul rubbing it in. You're never gonna see him again. It's all because of this guy. And again, another really solid match taking place between Yuta and Matthews as they're outside the ring.
Oh, 100%. Is Solo this generation's Umaga?
Yeah.
Or Omega?
I think that's more than obvious. That I mean, again, the lineage is there for a reason. But yeah, he's that enforcer. He's that power guy. He's the guy that, you know, even when he would go, you know, Umaga would disappear for a few weeks or a month or whatever. And then when he reappeared, he didn't just like come in like, oh, Umaga's back. He'd like decimate some big giant baby face to instantly get his heat back. That's Solo for me. He will always have that capability of just running over everybody's favorite wrestler.
He's the goon. He's the enforcer that you have on your hockey team there, since tis the season.
Tis the season.
Yuta getting destroyed in the outside.
I got both men on the apron going back and forth and then chucked under the table.
I got both men right now in the ring going at it. So we're calling a match from 2 different points in time here.
Right.
AJ Styles, Van saying, I missed the chatting Solo from NXT. Yeah, remember when Solo could cut promos or would cut promos?
Yeah, he didn't cut a lot, though. I mean, he had a bit of a, again,
he won the North American title and then got stripped of it the next day.
Yeah, apparently. And then we do all this stuff with Dominic Mysterio and shit, and nobody cares. You're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I just need doing it. Yes! Doing the Cena theme song. Do, 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 do.
Oh, Paulie. And listen, I know that Solo might be fully capable of saying his own piece, but nobody's going to say his piece the way Paul is. So, period.
As I know, both of us consider ourselves a little bit of wordsmiths and everything like that. 100%. I'll sit there and shut up and just be quiet and let Paul Heyman do all the talking.
Oh, no.
And there is no one on the microphone. This man is the goddamn William Shakespeare of wrestling promos, is Paul Heyman.
Oh, yeah. You strive to be as captivating and compelling verbally as a Paul Heyman.
He's the Jordan of promos. I'll say that respectfully. Well, at least when it comes to managers, 100%.
You're not wrong. Rub at Omega. Easy bake. You might have to elaborate.
What is Ibushi?
Ooh.
Rub on Omega?
Yuta on the top rope, kicking away from Murphy. Murphy catches the crossbody, showing off his strength, as Paul turns his attention to Jimmy Uso. Cena went back to LA. Wait, he's at AEW?
Well, now you can't even say goodbye because Solo spiked him.
Spiked his throat out.
Pause.
You can't see John Cena.
This man is going full gangster. Like, this man is cutting a whole soliloquy out here. This man is doing a one-man monologue.
LA Knight to the rescue.
Oh, well, that's not a bad shout, though. We got that feud going forward of LA Knight versus Solo.
LA Knight versus Solo at Survivor Series?
Wouldn't be bad. I think it'd be bad if LA takes another L.
Yeah, I don't want him to take an L.
But so then does Solo take the L, which is, I don't want to say equally bad, but is also bad.
The only defense I have in that is I feel like the Solos of the world get over L's because he'll just come out and beat the shit out of someone else.
Yeah, if you're a Goonie, you can take a loss in a fight because you're going to go out and knock the teeth out of fucking 4 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cena and Ronda are coming to AEW. There you go. There you go. That's the big signing on Saturday. We
couldn't see him. Couldn't see
him.
Could you imagine, though? On one hand, I almost feel like the WWE as a whole, like as the company, would just be like, you can have that. We've gotten everything there is possible out of that.
Right. Now, again, with all the heat that we just heard Paul Heyman getting, again, I think it's a good position to have LA Knight. Like, listen to the crowd responding. Like, thank God this guy's here.
Well, we were talking about Stone Cold earlier, how they replayed that video package and everything of this man's of that lineage. People have compared him to The Rock and all that. He's got the hook and the cadence when it comes to cutting a promo. If I say a moment and set up a line and they go with it, and then I come back and I go back and they go with it again.
All right. Heyman rephrased the good night bang phrase. I did not catch that, so I'll take your word for it.
Fair enough.
Does the winner of the AEW Continental Classic tournament get a title shot? I don't know, actually, James Price, what they get.
They get the same thing of the winner of the mid-season NBA tournament of you just get a trophy.
You get a high five.
That is it.
A high five and a pat on the ass.
You're right. You get a attaboy.
Andre El Idolo has joined that tournament, by the way. So confirmed participants right now are Bryan Danielson, Andrade El Idolo. I want to see if it tells me. I want to see if it tells me.
Why? Who? Why?
Is an upcoming professional round robin tournament hosted by All Elite Wrestling. The Continental Classic will begin the 22nd of November. Will last 6 weeks.
Next, we're getting LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso, by the way.
Yeah, that was slated for tonight, and I guess we're at that. I mean, main event time almost.
Well,
the women are going to end the show, though.
Are they advertised for a match? Well, they'll have a segment that'll end it.
Yeah, like this match was advertised, and I assumed it was the main event, so I think we're going to get about a 20-minute match-ish, and with commercials and everything else sprinkled in, and then we'll find out who's going to help Bianca and crew tonight.
Mickey James,
I like it. I'm okay with it.
That's my opinion. I know the consensus, the obvious choice is Becky Lynch. I'm holding out hope it's Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fun. As we've still got Yuta and Buddy Matthews going on as well.
Yes, and a decent match. I will say it's been a decent back and forth. Two good competitors. I mean, I think Yuta just gets shit because he's above the position he should be in, and everybody knows he's the tag along.
Yeah, you got booked way higher than your pay grade, sir.
Yeah, if he was fucking around Ring of Honor and getting wins here and there, nobody would have a problem with it. It's, him taking out some big names and being involved with some big names. He might be, higher.
He also doesn't have bad matches. I guess it's there's no personality behind that. Can anyone explain to me what Wheeler Yuta's character or gimmick is outside of good wrestler?
Yeah, likes to be punched.
Likes to bleed.
Buddy and Yuta going at it, fire. It's been a good match. I will agree with that, Mr. King. I have a feeling at some point Heyman will turn on the bloodline and rejoin Brock, since Brock is on the WrestleMania poster now. Dun, dun, dun.
If he was going to do that, he would have done that when they were teasing it to the fullest extent, and the man throws the title dead center in between both. Like, literally, that man could have not hit that shot better unless he was Steph Curry, landing dead center between both men.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, Brock does not need Paul, and Brock can still be involved at WrestleMania without Paul.
100. It's a bit of like how, again, speaking of another Paul, how Taker was always synonymous with Paul Bearer, and there was a point to where Taker elevated. He didn't need Paul Bearer anymore.
Yeah, he didn't need the talker.
I think Brock has well past that point at this point.
Yeah.
We've all at least accepted of even him doing his little baby face, like his whole promos with Sami Zayn and everything shows he doesn't need somebody to be a hype man. It would be great for nostalgia, just like when we got Heyman or Bearer and Taker for nostalgia, but it's not needed to better the story or better the story.
And I mean, do keep in mind, there was years there where Brock just didn't want to talk. Like, it was just like, no.
He doesn't like people. I can respect that.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't see him circling back, but I mean, never say never. I think Heyman's doing a really good thing. Like, move him on to Braun Breaker, move him on to Solo Sikoa, move him on, bring over the next guys. Who are the next Heyman guys?
That's the thing. Yeah, make the next Heyman guy, not an old Heyman guy.
We're back. They're giving us the announcement from the Big 12 agreement. And right now, Wheeler, Yuta, and Murphy tearing the house down. So far, so good here. Collision's been all right.
Good match. It's just, has it been enough to, like, story-wise, or I guess, like, pull me entertainment-wise over that way? Knight and Jimmy doing 10 to 15 in the main event, at least. Yeah. Well, we've got almost 30 minutes left on the clock, unless they do some run over.
Oh, it's official. Sorry, Nick. Carlito versus Santos at Survivor Series. Yo,
I'm game for it.
I might have to. I think I'm gonna have to go that camo graphic, bro.
Wow. Huh. Good God. Yo.
Yeah,
well, is it good, bro?
Graphic, as Buddy Murphy gets the win.
So Charlotte's going to make the call to try and get somebody there.
Becky.
Yeah.
Becky.
Why did we turn Charlotte English there? I don't know.
Becky.
Turned her fucking into Adele there of, you know what, love? It'd be fantastic if you came down here and you were in the match with us, but you know what? No.
Rolling in the deep. Literally. I guess Trish and Lita. Bad guesses.
Yeah.
Claudio.
What is a full court shot?
Right. Claudio getting rid of Buddy Matthews, protecting his boy.
So who you got, though, whether you're taking LA Knight or you're taking Jimmy Uso?
LA Knight, unless, I mean, you know what? I'll go Jimmy thanks to Solo.
Okay. I'll take LA Knight then.
Fair enough.
The last woman is Alexa Bliss. Well, no, there's this thing called a pregnancy that happened. There's another human being that exists that'll prevent that.
Yeah, she needs a minute.
Why? Is Lily if Lily finally took human form?
Yeah, we call her Shotzi Blackheart.
Oh, you said that, not me.
I mean,
she's Pinhead now.
AEW Continental Classic Tournament roster, and winner will be explained at Full Gear. Roaster. Yeah. So the Continental Cup is going to come to a conclusion at World's End. 2 divisions of 6. So there's going to be 12 people in this tournament, Nick.
Right. Sorry, Claudio. I've got Claudio cutting a promo on Buddy Matthews. So we're setting up for Claudio versus Matthews at Full Gear
on Rampage, bro.
Fucking hell.
I made that part up, but it's still.
Well, you watch though, it's going to happen because of the space-time continuum. I don't know what's live here and what's taped and what was taped before what.
And again,
they could have had a match and we'll cut the promo building up to the match after the fact.
Yeah, and again, it's the confusing booking of the BCC of now he's cutting a babyface promo on Buddy Matthews, who was healing up against Yuta. Like, what side are you on? Help me, please.
Joe Gary, what up? But it also goes to like what we talked about with WWE. Yes, they have, you could argue at times, repetitive storylines, or they've beaten a storyline to death and everything, but they're clear and defined. Everything with AEW is ambiguous. Everything is in the gray. And no one knows who's face. No one knows who's heel, anything like that.
The ambiguously friendly booker.
Ambiguously anonymous wrestling.
She is pregnant. It's a tough pick, but I'm going to go LA Knight. But I do see Solo coming back down. I don't think Solo will show up till after the match, though.
I've got Moxley right now, Moxley and OC cutting a promo. And again, this is the most fired up. I'm actually getting behind OC because he's actually somewhat developing a character up. Out of fucking, I put my thumbs up and I wear denim.
Listen,
I look like a walking Levi's ad.
I remember when he was slated to fight Orange Cast, Will Ospreay. And I remember at that time saying, like, man, I just wish this guy would let his talent shine and not let his gimmick overspeak for him. And I still feel like that's at the time, like we saw it, right? Like you're trying to pin a grown-ass man with your hands in your pocket. That's where the gimmick gets too stretched. You know, you can do your spots, but you got to have a giddy up. And now at least he has got a giddy up.
Oh, I was 100% out here of expected to be Elizabeth with Ospreay, with OC taking on Ospreay. I hated that idea of a match, and it was a great match. Mm-hmm. He can go in the ring. It's like you said, it's the character that's just insufferable at times. Like
shit, yeah.
It's like make it at least halfway fucking believable, motherfucker. Like you can be the cool guy, but you're not Arthur Fonzarelli of you can just hit the boombox and it starts playing the records you want it to play, motherfucker.
Like, right. Claudio versus Buddy Matthews be a great match though, or two. Yeah, I like Claudio. I like Matthews. Let him go. But let's define it, right? Claudio's the baby face. The BCC are baby faces. They got to get some cohesion here just to help us, pick who we can cheer for.
Yeah, draw some lines here at some point. Not everything can just be squiggles.
Right? Who's on the rooster? Pause. Why does
Allison James?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. See, I made it work.
Why does Charlotte need to make the call to Becky? Bianca and Becky are on good terms, and it was Bianca who called her last year for War Games. Look at long-term story reading over here.
Gee, this man's pulling up fucking phone call records and everything like that. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to too many people after she embarrassed herself on Jeopardy and could get nothing.
Right. Well, then, hey, maybe it's not Becky. Maybe it's Charlotte phoning someone else.
Point ahead, look smart.
Who knows? You might be onto something, AJ.
Right.
Joe Gary's
all around.
Yeah, buddy. They come to snuff the rooster. What? They've come.
How? I don't know where we went with the rooster thing, but what?
I was just going to start singing Allison Change, so you got me there. That's a good one. Tomorrow night, Body Matthews versus Claudio. Tomorrow night. Oh, I'm Full Gear. Where did they put that match? Is that a pre-show match?
Un momento. Let me refresh.
So we have added Buddy and Claudio out of left field.
I don't have it so far on Wikipedia, but that could be just because it's Wikipedia. So,
right. Wow. Great build for the match of Full Gear, Claudio and Buddy.
Yeah.
I often say, listen, I can't hear your sarcasm through your comments. That time I can.
Cut that shit with a fucking butter knife.
Oh, yeah. This is the main event. Soraya and Ruby are in action. And as soon as
who
they are taking on, I know who they're taking on. I can't remember who they're taking on. Vitamins have taken their proper place. I'm down for Claudio versus Hawaii Matthews. Man, Damian, he was Buddy Matthews. Now he's Hawaii Matthews. Just call him Buddy. Buddy, we know who you're talking about,
Buddy, or just say Matthews. I know we're past Halloween, but what's up with this fucking DX cosplay here? I get it's what the Outcasts do, but they look like.
Oh yeah, Stat and.
No, I've got Ruby and Soraya coming out here looking like Thought X right now.
Thought X. The turning point for OC was the promo he cut on Mox on Dynamite before the International Championship match on pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, I think my desire was give us some emotion. Give us, you can be the cool guy, but even the cool guy gets pissed off once in a while. Like, if you ever tipped over the cool guy's bong, he gets good and mad. Orange Cassidy needs to get good and mad once in a while. And I mean, again, if you told me Mox was going to fight OC again on a pay-per-view, I'd be like, fuck that. I've kind of changed my opinion on it. And I kind of okay with going into this match like this.
But I've seen people that have speculated that OC might be kind of going to that, Gollum, Smeargle route there, looking at the championship.
Do I have F me eyes? No, you have my precious eyes.
Yeah.
AEW eventually will get in WWE, and WWE retires and goes to AEW. Larry,
I feel like you missed a lot of words in that sentence.
By the way, Jimmy and LA still going on. A good match in its own right. And Hikaru Shida is teaming up with Chris Statlander. So
you can't act like you respect this woman earlier and then call her Hickory Sticka Shida.
She is she is Hickory Shida to me, and that's the way it is.
To me, these are two women that if I was to start my own company and I'm plucking people out of the AEW women's roster, Shida and Statlander are two of my top draft picks out of the women's division, 100%. Ruby Soho and Saraya, not so much.
I think I like Ruby. I do like Ruby. I just don't like what's happened to her. And she's not a great promo. Shida, I like.
LA Knight picks up the win.
I have no issue with Hickory. And LA Knight with the win. Blunt force trauma, it's over. Over.
Oh, I thought he did this, and I thought he was going to just flip the bird real quick. Just cue.
Oh, shit.
Now we get Solo.
Solo comes thumb ready.
Pause.
They come snuff the rooster.
But so who you got, folks? Whether you're taking
he got jumped.
Outcast, Spike to LA Knight from Solo. How you can't say this man got jumped? He fucking faced him face to face. How do you get Pearl Harbored front and face to face here?
Jimmy batted him out of the ring. Jimmy jumped on his back.
Oh, I missed that part. I just saw this man face to face. I was like, how'd you get jumped? Like,
that was an important part of the plot. Jimmy threw him out to Solo.
We're clearing off the table here. So is this how we're ending Friday Night SmackDown?
No, we
might end it with that. If they sit there and even say, Tony, you got some couple extra minutes, you can have that. That even what I'm mad at.
Oh, what the fuck?
Cody Rhodes.
The American Dream. Cody Rhodes. Why is he here?
Is this meaning that LA Knight's the last man in War Games? Where are we going here?
Could you imagine
You're
LA
supposed
Knight
to be on Raw.
But he hates the bloodline. But what does this all mean?
Well, is this how you force you shoehorn Cody going back at Roman?
Boston, there's a joke in there, but I'm not allowed to say it on YouTube.
As Julia Hart's watching backstage here, as I've got Saraya versus Stat right now in the ring.
Oh, Jimmy into the stairs. Guys, anybody confused? Yeah, Cody has no business being here.
What? Yeah, there's no wild card rule. You're in violation, sir. Expect to get fined.
So what if that's Cody going to fish for LA? It's not Randy Orton. It's LA Knight. Oh, here we go.
Oh, do we have a fourth? I called her, but I don't know if she's going to make it in time.
She said, new phone. Who dis? I got problems.
Right. Why does Charlotte halfway look like she's about to cry in that?
She does. She looks very emotional. She's hanging out with Zelina Vega.
Jobber actor face.
SD break number 8. Is this 9 then? Jade.
9, 10. Who knows at this point?
What do you think if it's Jade Cargill? Many legends have debuted at Survivor Series. What if this is Jade's debut?
It's not a bad shout. You have her in a multi-person match to cover, but then she becomes the focal point of that entire match.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm okay with that.
I'd save it. I'd rather take Becky than having it be Jade.
Yep, I agree with you.
I'm just hoping now against hope of that it's Mickey somehow. I think it's going to probably be Becky. Jade's not a terrible shout, but I don't even know. We don't know where she's going to end up. We initially thought she was going to end up on Raw.
Yep.
I feel like if she gets involved with this, it might put her more towards SmackDown. Yeah. There's rumors she could just start off in NXT.
Oh shit, we still have to watch Rampage. Sorry. I just reminded
me. Well, we don't have to. We don't have to.
No, we do. We made it. We made a promise to the people.
The people.
But yeah, Nick, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not where I would place her first. I do think that maybe Becky would be a better fit, or somebody else we haven't thought of in a while. Mickey James. I mean, it would be random of like, hey, Charlotte, call your friend Mickey James. Like, what?
Hey,
fuck it. We just saw a man come out of the milk section. We're good.
Right, literally. We just saw a dude running around on a bicycle just beating people with a pipe, and that was fine, so fuck it.
I would have been okay if he beat people with the pipe, but the pipe.
Pause, by the way.
But the drive-by pipe rubbing was awfully awkward for everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry, there must have been a run-by fruiting.
Run-by piping.
Pause.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if you can make Brian Alvarez like go live and go, that didn't look good at all, you've done something wrong, because he thinks most things look good, including
because Brian Alvarez doesn't look good at all. So if you can make him say something doesn't look good at all,
right? That's
the pot meat in the kettle there.
I say Becky or Mickey, not Bicky or Mickey. For the fourth member, yeah, I'm leaning Becky. I mean,
see all this. I like this. I'm saying, what are you doing here? You gotta go.
Get out of my swamp.
Your purple suit vest out of here.
Out of my swamp.
Right.
Oh, we got Angelo Parker, by the way, in the crowd cheering on Ruby. He paid a ticket to watch Ruby, apparently, even though his friend was already out there. Why did he just hang out with his friend?
Because he's, the heart wants what the heart wants. But next week before Survivor Series will be on FS1 for SmackDown, by the way.
But we're getting the tag titles on the line.
And we're getting a Waller effect with Kevin Owens.
Oh, Kevin Owens back from suspension. Dun-dun. I'm on my own against the wall. It's mozzarella. I like that touch, Joe. I missed it. I don't care if you promise. That's funny, Boston. 8 minutes. My gut is saying Becky.
I think that's the odds-on favorite. I think that's the obvious choice.
My gut is saying pizza.
Facts.
Mickey Mouse.
MICKEYMOUSE. What did I miss? God damn it. You missed about 2 hours. So hit that rewind button. We'll catch that shit on the replay.
Oh, dude, Ruby, and Angelo, and so Stat smacks her for her efforts. Shots. I'm a psycho. I like her music.
But this is so interesting. This is like, he's even got a Ruby shirt. But this is literally like, tell me more, tell me more.
It really is.
Grease.
They're going to lose. And it's going to be because of Ruby's in love. Saraya in the ring. We haven't seen Saraya in the ring in a hot minute. So here she goes.
Yeah, we barely saw her when she was women's champion. We especially haven't seen her since she lost the women's championship.
Oh, but every time everyone gets in the ring, it'll be, so we're going to get
if they're a team, why do they have to have separate individual entrances?
We're killing time like a mofo right now, man.
No, man.
This is filler shit. Listen, let's call it what it is. They are like the women are coming out in their robes and like, why?
Yeah, if this is not a big surprise, like if this is not a shot in the arm, and sorry, Becky being the next member is not a shot in the arm. That this goes like what you said of having a street fight and then following it up with a promo. We had a hell of a match, and we're following it up with a segment that's going to drag, and that's a promo you could have had. So you could have had this at a different point. You could have flipped those two and at least been fine.
No, you're gonna, and I understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, and then you got a valid point as far as like the match was good, Solo and LA's big deal. But yeah, they're definitely trying to do what AEW did as far as putting a highlight on something that's uber important. Yeah, I mean, and again, I don't expect
like a little wink into the camera though.
Yeah, I have no expectation of it being anybody dramatic. I think it's Becky.
But see, I'll still argue and I'll still push that this then should have gone in front of the last match.
nah, this is your go. This is your go home. Like you're saying,
this is not captivating enough to be your go home. The last match that I had would have been my
captivated
moment.
That's
good. Fine. I will agree to disagree.
I'm surprised we're getting this big 3-person entrance and shit for a promo. Yeah, I give you total credit on that criticism, but I'm okay with what's going on right now. I'm interested in it. Stat taking out Angelo Parker, by the way. Ruby checking on him. Not my man. Oh, and a botch on the finish. That's unfortunate. Botch.
We are running out of time. Bitch, we got 5 minutes. What are we talking about?
Why'd you take so long to get here then?
Wait, well, you did 3 fucking separate entrances. You caused this.
Oh, ladies, I love you, but that's typical, womanism. Take forever to get ready and then ask us why we're running late.
Those are the thoughts and opinions solely of Mr. Evernight, KJ White.
I love you.
As Sheeta picks up the 1, 2, 3 for the win.
Did you see the botch finish?
I was halfway paying attention to this, so I couldn't tell what was a botch and what was.
Oh, here comes the brawl.
Oh, by the way, Sky Blue just looking like a girl you fine. Right.
So we're gonna get a brawl, and then the person that's joining the team is gonna run out. Then all this is gonna come out and give us war games. Y'all ready?
Let's go. Grab on and strap in. But like you said, though, we're getting this now twice, and 100%. Damage Control looks like a fucking group of badasses.
Yeah, leave them together. Like even like now, Asuka as like the second to Bailey with the face, like she's the crazy one that will eat you, go alive. You have.
But they all have different kind of personalities and personas, but you all know that they could all fuck you up.
Yeah, I'm good with this. All right, who's the helper? I wish Dakota was healthy.
Oh, we're getting a pop. Oh. Becky!
Yeah, it's Becky. And by the way, we got now Judgment Day is in jeopardy, Nick.
Wait, what?
I heard him say Becky. Oh, there she is. Where did she come from?
Yeah, she popped out of the back. I was going to say, I've got Becky in the ring. Where are you talking about Judgment Day and all that? I got Becky out here throwing hands with everybody as I'm getting MJF sitting down with Tony Schiavone right before we get him talking with Renee Paquette on, Rampage, because let's double down on the backstage interviews with our world champion.
Yeah, and again, this would be the main event spot for Collision.
Yeah, it is. This is the last 3 minutes right now.
And I mean, it's been a really good Collision, but this is an interesting ending.
We ain't gonna compete with this, so you can have that. This is waving the white flag, I feel.
Oh, Charlotte with the moonsault from the top. Yeah, Damage Control now in jeopardy, Nick.
I don't think so. Io lying down Charlotte.
Pew. Oh, Io and Charlotte eyeballing each other.
Why do you want to see me do the Jeff Hardy dance? We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends, but see right here, though. Now, as you're getting the lower third, we've got Bianca. It looks like she was throwing her earring. This is where you should have had, like you said right there, you should have had all this come out. And you know what? I'm saying this. You guys have built your own teams. We're going to have war games.
Yeah, the only reason I imagine he didn't was not to completely be the exact same as Monday. But yeah, I mean, it's there. The writing's on the wall. Again, will it be 4 women against 4 women? Is there a 5th coming?
No, because Dakota's injured still. So
yeah, so 4-on-4. Right. All right, folks. Collision has still got a couple minutes left, apparently. And looks like SmackDown has gone off the air. So we'll take a rating on both momentarily. If you want to get in that chat, let us know. And we will transition to Rampage. But right now, I got MJF talking to Tony.
Absolutely. That's good in ending to an extent for SmackDown.
I liked it.
This is not a great ending for Collision, respectfully.
Yeah, like if the women had come out and just cut a promo and we went home, bad choice. But the fact that you knew we were going to get the brawl, that, lets the end of the night go off the air and oh my God, I wonder what's going to happen. Cut it off mid-fight. I'm really
fair.
I'm really surprised that MJF isn't doing this segment earlier in Collision, especially with the really good matches you had on Collision.
Especially when we're going to see something very similar to this in a few moments' time on Rampage with Renee Paquette. So it's one of those of you're doubling down on the same segment, which is one of the worst things you could do. You're going to double down on an interview segment.
Yeah. I'm doubling down. Okay. So he's letting Jay White know he's coming. 8 out of 10 from Damian. I assume on SmackDown, MJF is on the screen. Yes, he is. 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 6.995 out of 10. All right. 10 out of 10.
Don't want to give it a 7.
Right. I was looking at a pic of Trish during the show. Ah, there you go. See money.
Fair enough then, I guess.
Shaking his fist all night at the whole situation.
Yeah. Shake harder, boy.
Rampage is kicking off, folks. We're going to keep going with our coverage. Remember, be a friend, tell a friend. We are back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. for AEW Full Gear. We're going to go locked and loaded all night long. It's going to be a Saturday night stream to remember. It's going to be a fun one. And then we're coming back on Sunday with some OC, original content, and then working right through the week, right to Survivor Series as the Lionheart, Chris Jericho, is opening Rampage.
Boo.
Hey, why aren't you guys shitting on SmackDown's women crap match? Because it wasn't a crap match. That's why. I just watched, I hate to say it, I watched matches on 2 different shows, and I mean, I didn't have any problem with what just happened with the women. It was popping, the crowd was into it.
It wasn't a match.
I just saw the AEW Women's Champion botch a finish, though. If you want to be picky. It happened.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, so let's be fair when we're throwing shit. Now that's how you end SmackDown. There you go.
See, like, that's the thing is I was out there. I don't know if this is how I'd end it, and then obviously with the brawl, I'll give you that. But even then, that wasn't a match. Like, what big SmackDown women's match are we trying to compare to what we should have been ending Collision with instead of we've got 4 or 5 minutes left of run over time. So let's have a backstage interview segment with MJF, which I won't say no to MJF on my screen, but not to end out my show.
Yeah. And yeah, here we go. The sing along with Jericho.
You had the ending of Collision 2 segments earlier, like I said before, when you had all of the tag teams rolling out, much like we just had in SmackDown with. And especially when you've got your pay-per-view the night after, the next night.
Yeah, why did we get a Chris Jericho entrance? Is he getting entrance just to do commentary? We got the Jericho sing-along because he's going to commentary. Like he's JR or something.
I got all thrown off. That was all sorts of weird. I got thrown off because I didn't even recognize the Trent Beretta fucking entrance and everything. I was like, did they just give this man an entrance and then an Old Navy commercial behind him?
Women's SmackDown was trash. Fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion. I think you went into it with that opinion and you came out of it with that opinion. So, yeah, I mean, trying to be objective. I'm not here to convince you otherwise, but man, I'd give that some second look. The other, side by side, I was watching 2 shows covered in both shows full of women competitors. The other one had the whole love angle with Angelo, a botched finish. Yeah. Yes, Nick.
Is it so weird, though, to be, quote unquote, an advocate for women's wrestling and you get so thin harsh and judge the basis of an entire program of 2 hours of wrestling based on what happens with a certain gender involved in pro wrestling? Like, you want to be an advocate, but you're going to fucking be that harsh and that critical and focus specifically on that? Really? Like, maybe that's why
and again,
they don't get the big focus is because you get so many people that, it's shit because it's not what I wanted.
Yeah, but again, I mean, we talked about Damage Control walks out through the curtain. And if anyone out there tells me that Damage Control didn't look badass and didn't look ready to fuck shit up, then you don't want to see it. And I'm okay with that. And at the end of the day, like you said, you want women's wrestling to be highlighted, then we got to support it. And I mean, what we just saw there again, top level athletes that would be, it's the same kind of opinion of, well, they're doing an NXT match on SmackDown. I'm not going to watch it. All right, well, you just missed a really good fucking match, and it looks very similar to the Lucha match I'm watching on the other channel as well. So, yeah, I mean, I can't remove your head from your ass, but if you could try, that'd be awesome.
Well, just going into watching pro wrestling with a preconceived notion is the thing that we try and preach against. We very much trying to go at everything with an open mind and a open perspective.
Right. I've been giving you shit for weeks. I've been busting your balls about your stance.
Yeah, I'm amazed I haven't gotten canceled thanks to you.
Right? Like, I mean, I've been giving you shit. So for you to be out here saying what you're saying, I mean, that's big, man. That's big.
You acted like this is fucking personal growth. Like I haven't been saying this shit all the time. It's just you painted me into this goddamn corner because I didn't think we needed to.
I did no such thing.
War games match. Fucking shit.
I feel after tomorrow we will have a new landscape in AEW for the good. I hope so. I really hope so. As Trent and Christian are kicking this one off, guys.
I will provide context with that of I think for good, not for the good. I think it'll be a new landscape that will stay permanently. I don't think it will be for the good.
I'm hoping it's for the positives for
AEW. Yes, yeah.
I hope it is for the good of the company, and I hope it helps AEW move forward on a good note. I think over the last 12 months, maybe 10 months, there's been a lot of static, a lot of bad press. The Punk shit hung over their head like a dirty cloud for months. It's a nice chance to reset. You have a really good pay-per-view. You jazz up your fan base with a really good show, and then you come back on Wednesday and keep that momentum going.
Absolutely. There's a ton of potential for this to be a really kind of silence the critics, silence the noise moment for AEW, and especially because this is like you even were saying when you compared it to last year's card of this may not be as much anticipated as last year's card or anything like that. Like AEW is respectfully, and you have to admit this, a fan or not, it's taking on water. So
it feels like it, yeah, for sure.
This is very much a watershed moment to where they could kind of steer the ship, and hopefully they do and start pointing into a right direction, even if it's just stay in your own lane.
Yeah, plug some holes. But again, I think recently for me, Nick, Tony Khan's talked a lot about this hot streak with the pay-per-views, and I've fundamentally disagreed that they're on a hot streak with the pay-per-views. This is a chance for him to turn it around. I wasn't the biggest fan of All Out. Wrestle Dream was pretty good, better than All Out, to be honest. But I really want him to deliver, and it's got to be more than the sizzle. I want some steak on Saturday.
Pause. He wants that big beefy voice. Pause.
Yeah, well, let's go get some beef.
Pause. You got to end on that. That's a possible moment here. Now I got to find Boston's. Pause. 100%. What's the over-under on the match count tomorrow night? Well, right now it is set at. Well, I think we got the match that was potentially added tonight. Yeah. Buddy Matthews versus Claudio was also added to the pre-show. So we've got 10 right now. So unless this man's going to add another 3 or so matches tonight or within the timeline of tomorrow, somehow, some way, it looks like we've got the line set, right at 10 there, which to me is not bad at all. And especially with it being on a Saturday versus it being on a Sunday, because respectfully, a 14 plus match AEW pay-per-view on a Sunday is like a 5-hour marathon, and people got to work in the morning, and that's a bit aggressive. Someone in the audience yelled, "Shoosh." Fair enough. Man, I hate that guy, Nick. What do you hate me for? What do I do to you? Well, even if you still hate me 100%, I guess then still be a friend, tell a friend. Maybe you like KJ more than I. Maybe you like Anthony or at least Luna more than me. But be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe 100%. We are on the road. I think we're still just on the precipice here of 3K subscribers and still just under 2 years of doing this 100%. AEW Nick Wayne. Okay, well, you got to clarify at times. Nick seems to be a common name here. But yeah, no, I don't mind Nick Wayne. I think it's interesting that this is what they're doing with him. Kind of works as, he's the young prospect, but it's so interesting that there's no developmental, there's no NXT in AEW. Like, if Nick Wayne respectfully was in WWE, he's 100% spend time in NXT. Same thing with Billy Starks, versus these guys sign with AEW and they're doing time in Ring of Honor. They're getting time on TV. Nick Wayne's Christ been on Dynamite, on Rampage, on Collision, everything. Allen is so reckless right now. He needs Dable. I 100% would love to see Dable come back, but I've still compared Josh Allen to, he's Brett Favre. That man is going to make plays that you're going to fucking still remember 10 years from now, but he's also going to make turnovers that you're going to remember 10 years from now. This man is a fucking gunslinger. And especially in a place like Buffalo, I'm fine with having him as my quarterback. I will ride with Josh Allen 100%. But they do need to figure out the offensive coordinator, the offense since Dable left. Dable leaving was a big loss for them. Slingshot spear from Beretta onto Christian. Do you have Christian Cage retaining the title? I think so. I know I kind of joked earlier, like he could lose it tonight and then it's not involved in the trios match or the 6-person tag match. But I don't know if Beretta's the guy that takes the belt off of Christian. And especially if you have the heel lose going into the match, right? The night before the pay-per-view, it kind of tells you the heel is going to win. It's one of those, it's as weird as it is. It's that old, kind of rules of wrestling, like he who sets it up must go through it. If the babyface or the heel wins the night before the pay-per-view, that means they're losing at the pay-per-view. So I could see Christian winning this and then still obviously losing at the pay-per-view. I think it's going to be, I don't think Edge turns. I don't think anybody turns. I think it's just a clean cut team babyface over team heel. And then we still set up a Adam Copeland versus Christian match, or an Edge versus Christian. Easy to say. Friday Night Smackdown is cool. It's a B-. Is a B- a 7? I don't know. 7, 6.5. I'm between those two. Two go. That's my rating on that. Is I don't even know if I'd say a B-, maybe a C+. A C to a C+ is maybe more what I'd say with SmackDown. Wasn't terrible, but you still got. I could maybe see a B+. B+ might be a bit of a stretch, but I'd hover a little bit below there. Beretta goes for the splash. Nobody home as Christian setting up the spear here. I can see Swerve getting the TNT title. I could see Swerve getting the World Heavyweight Championship. Granted, maybe not off MJF, but yeah. Oh, Beretta with a V-trigger into a tornado, running off the top turnbuckle, DDT for a 2 count. Is it possible that Darby takes the title from Christian? It's possible, just not before tomorrow. I'll say that. It's very much possible that it happens in the future. When Mandy Rose returns, what show will she be on? I don't think she's returning at all. She's very much in that line of do something strange for a little piece of change. Her, PVZ, I think the Bunny might be going that route. And I mean, I ain't knocking it. If that's the hustle you want to do you, boo-boo. But I don't think they're showing back up in a ring anytime soon. Really good match. Yes, 100%. Hoffle Waffle, aka the Dude Buster for a 2 count. Was rehired 3 days ago. No, she wasn't. I don't know where you heard that. but that did not happen. I love what Orson Welles said about those lyrics, Nick, talking about when the moon hits your eye. He said, now that's touching, Dean. It has all the sentiment of a Tidy Bowl commercial. Listen, no one was expecting that shit to be some deep poetic fucking lyrics, my guy. Like, it's meant to kind of be that jingly shit. Trust me. Bop is not, a deep poetic fucking lyrical song, but it's catchy as all get out. That's where that's at. As Christian right now in control of Trent Beretta, 6 out of 10 for SmackDown. Larry, are you sure it's not like, Mandy Rose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that? Like, it's not hard to do a fan account. I think more than just you, my guy, respectfully, would know that Mandy Rose has re-signed with WWE. More than just you would know. As Christian picks up the 1, 2, 3 after the Unprettier. And I would argue Christian is doing some of the best work of his career, honestly, right now. He's one of the best things in AEW. He's arguably, I'd say, one of the best things in pro wrestling. Christian has managed to, honestly, unlike Edge has been able to just be Edge the whole time. Christian has managed to reinvent himself from being Christian with Edge and Christian to being Christian Cage in TNA to being the Christian that we have, right now in AEW. That's everybody's stepfather. 100%. He's been able to do character work on the level, like when Jericho was doing his, suit, feud with HBK. That's where Christian's kind of at right now, I feel. As he's hugging out with Nick Wayne. Breaking news, Carlito versus Escobar was added to Survivor Series. Yes, we were here live when they told us they were going to get that. Father, you're here for the win. All right, so which would you take as your better trios right now for commentary of Chris Jericho, Nigel, and Tony Schiavone, or Road Dogg, Kevin Patrick, and Michael Cole? Because all due respect to Nigel, I feel like I'd almost take Road Dogg and Michael Cole, just swap out Nigel with Kevin Patrick, and we're perfect. As we are in full commercial right now, so again, I will remind everybody, we do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. We're back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow for Full Gear. With a pre-show, not only do you need in your life, but you want in your life. What? Got that one. Road Dogg, Kevin, and Michael, hands down. Nick, who you got? Hangman and Swerve with Full Gear. Well, I swerve when I drive. Yeah, swerve when I drive. But I do like Swerve comments recently about how, notice how with Hangman, we don't have all of the bedazzled, cowboy gear or anything like that. There's no more, rhinestone cowboy bullshit coming out. Now he's all, black shirt, black denim, he's the man in black. He's making Hangman feel serious again and making him feel like Swerve, just the effect of Swerve being involved in the Hangman feud and really them giving time, and the segment that we saw last night to where they jumped him at Wrestling Revolver, I think really helped the story of this is arguably the match that I'm looking forward to going into tomorrow night is Hangman versus Swerve. And I know we've seen it before, but I think it has the chance to really over-deliver. I got that one. What is your favorite match tonight on either show, Collision and SmackDown? Ooh. I don't know if I could pick a favorite match so far, honestly. Could just be a little bit because we've been bouncing around. I think this man might have an answer, though.
I know who your favorite guy is, and maybe not your favorite match.
Why?
What? Now, an interesting picture going around. When they were in the back of SmackDown and the ladies were trying to figure out who they were going to bring in, the door was swung open, and it's Nick Aldis, and I believe he's talking to Paul Heyman in the background. So, or no, who is that? Yeah, I think it's Heyman. It might be Heyman. Maybe not.
Are we going like frame by frame shit now?
Yeah.
With SmackDown again.
Yeah, they're highlighting the background. Maybe it's Cody. Who is that? Maybe it's Will Ospreay. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe it's like in Botchamania to where they had to remind, Ivar of note, get your ass back there so you're not in the shot.
Mm-hmm. And ironically, it was Fox, WWE on Fox, that put that out. So they wanted to highlight that happened in case people missed it.
Fair enough. Wow.
It's Ivar again.
Yeah, like I said, it was on Raw to where the assistant like shoving his ass back there. No, get your ass back over there.
Right. But yeah, folks, we're rolling along here. We are in the midst of Rampage. My favorite match tonight, might have been Dax and Roosh.
Fair enough.
I thought Dax and Roosh was really good tonight.
You said it was WWE on Fox that shared that?
Yeah.
Okay, about to look.
My first look, I thought it was Heyman, but then as I zoomed in, I'm doubting my own eyes.
Scrolling down.
No,
I'm to Escobar talking. Oh, now I see what you're talking about.
Jericho running his mouth about his match against the Young Bucks, and he's trying to get over Golden Jets, but it's not going to work. In their backyard. For the number.
That's Cody. That's 100% Cody. I just hit the enhance. Cody? That's Cody. You can see that blonde hair. Well, that was around when Cody came out.
Yeah.
I want to say. And that's where Aldis was having the whole back and forth of, you need to get your ass the hell up on out of here because you don't belong here.
Cody's swindling a deal. Cody likes to use his political powers to get things done. So maybe he's talking
it's all how you get your way to Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania.
Right? Or Cody. Oh, by the way, this is an interesting match because I believe we're going to get Timeless Tony versus against Freddie Mercury. And I'm not
Sakura.
Sure why.
Because we've got to get Maria May to come out and be involved.
Ah, interesting.
There's been a lot. I don't know if you've seen the fan theory that's been going around to where she's essentially going to
Mickey James.
She's going to Mickey James that. Everybody's like, well, it's like this old movie, and everyone that's of an older vintage of a wrestling fan is just like, you mean Trish and Mickey, right? Right.
Timeless Tony coming out with Luther. Are we getting closer to Jay? I imagine, and listen, I'm actually surprised that they've held off this long. I give them credit because I know what they're doing, and I know some people might not completely get it, but this is where everybody saw a very green Jade Cargill leave AEW. They want a less green Jade to debut for WWE.
Maybe a bit, or at least within their style here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get in ring, this whole Tony Storm thing works. It's just,
I'm all for it.
On one hand, to me, it's so much camp and everything that I'm like, my brain's just on overload. Literally, even her picture next to Hikaru Shida
is black and white.
It is black and white. Like, she's gold dust 100%. She's anti-gold dust. She's black and white dust.
Yeah, like she even on the Full Gear call out, Nick, like she's black and white in the picture. It's pretty funny. Like,
but she's out there with the fucking robe, and she's just like, I'm a peacock and you gotta let me fly. Like, it's just so much like camp and over the top to me that I'm just and I get, respectfully, different strokes for different folks. To me, it's just a little. I respect in ring.
It's a little too
everything. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I just don't like it.
It's definitely indulgent. I'll give you that. But I like the fact that in a division that lacks character, she has a big one.
In a company that lacks a true defined character. Yeah, that's why she excels, because she's one of the few that has a clear-defined, clear-cut character.
This is who I am. and this is who
she's out here handing out scripts. She's looking like an NFL writer out here handing out scripts.
Yeah, Luther. Yeah, she handing out scripts trying to get the wrestler to follow the script, which I think is kind of ironic, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and it's not Reggie.
Right? You know, shit. Luther helping Tony out, Tony thanking him, and then suplex to the floor. Jericho needs to grow a beard to cover up his sagging jawline. Nah, he'll just get that tucked in like his gut.
No, he just needs to wear a shirt when he wrestles to cover up other things that might be sagging.
Right. 11 and 14.
Saying, and I say that as a big boy myself, 100%.
Yeah. Fair enough. Tony Storm taking a ride on Luther's shoulders.
When Luther dressed like this and everything, does he not remind you of like literally like the fucking Annie shit and everything? Like
he's Uncle Fester. It's fucking great. And again, you found something relevant for Luther. So I mean, I'll be like, all right, this is good. Luther wasn't
doing... he's still employed.
Yeah. So at least, yeah, instead of just hanging around and doing weird job matches with Serpentico, this is
let's be honest. You're not having a bad day at work if, I got to put Tony Storm on my shoulders and parade around with her on the back of my neck. I'm fine with that.
This man, every night, when he walks back up the ramp, he's going to look over at Jericho on commentary. Thanks, bro. Thanks.
All right. Just a little wink and a nod.
Right. It's a number one contenders match between the Yes, the Young Bucks are putting their number one contendership on the line, which makes me feel like they're going to lose.
I don't care, but Sakura just with a cross-body splash on a Tony Storm into the ring steps here.
Yeah. I know one thing next week, the CM Punk chants are going to be deafening. I hope Paulie call old Phil be they riot. Before they riot. There you go.
Thus down to protest too much.
Yeah, I had to put all that together.
Yeah, no, I think there's even a contingency plan that they'll announce Randy before Survivor Series to just circumvent all of that shit.
Well, now I find it very interesting. Cody shows up and gets involved, and we talk about like, oh shit, wait, what if it's not Randy? What if it's not Punk? What if it's LA Knight?
Oh no. Oh, don't do that.
Why else would Cody come out to help?
Because I want to be on SmackDown and I want to face Roman Reigns.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting.
And if you throw LA Knight in there, when you had it teased to be Randy Orton and teased to be CM Punk, respect to LA Knight, 100%. If this was any other situation, be fine. But when you've had it teased of other people, mitigate expectations. Like don't fail to deliver with that. At least give us Randy.
Why this relatively unknown lady is taking the number one contender to the fucking limits right now?
I don't know, but I'm gonna go find the answers.
Yeah, go look, bro. Go look. But folks, yeah, we are rolling along on Rampage. Emmy is all over Timeless Tony. Let me try this again. All right, you try that again. Tony Storm for the win. Dude, I'm with you. Did Tony pull an orange out of her ass last week, or was I dreaming? Yeah, I think it was last Collision or Rampage 2 weeks ago. Easy Bake gave one to Tony Schiavone. I was shocked that he didn't bite into it right away. Peel and all, fuck it. But yeah, no, it definitely happened. Timeless Tony Storm. Excellent. Tony Storm has done a great job with this gimmick. I completely agree. I understand where some people would go, it's a little sweet. I sometimes think that's what, that's in part due to what surrounds Tony Storm. If she's going to be over the top, if you do a segment that's over the top before or after she does it, then it gets, you know what it's like when something's too decadent, right? It's too sweet to the tongue. But I think it's great. I think it's a personality. She knows who she is, and this works. And I think she should be champion. Right now, I think she should have ended this match about 5 minutes ago. There you go. On Mandy Rose's Facebook page, it says she started new job at WWE 11/14. All right, that's interesting. But yeah, no. I have no idea what that would be. And yeah, no. Cake time. Absolutely. Shout out Tony. I'll take a pause on that subject. All right, Pastor. Damn, Sakura threw her body at Tony at the step. Yeah, I mean, shit. Listen, Emmy hits hard. And I don't totally mean to knock her, but she's not a woman that's highlighted in your division. And then she shows up and she works people. And my only pickiness as a wrestling fan is that the night before Tony is going to take on the champ, you like this lady who we barely know is working her out right now. That's not great for your number one contender. You give Sakura a little bit of a moment to look kind of, stomp on the baby face, work her out a little bit. Tony fucking hulks up and takes over and ends this. Right now, you would think that Emmy is the number one contender for the world championship. Luther looks like money bags from Annie. It's a hard knock life for me. Young Bucks versus the Kevin Harts. The Kevin Harts, the Golden Jets. I like it. I love that movie. I really don't think Punk will be at Survivor Series. Closer and closer we get to Survivor Series, the less likely I believe Punk is a thing. But I don't know. That's what I like. And I keep saying this. Going into 2024 as a wrestling fan, I mean, there's a lot to keep you intrigued. The camera goes black and white for the finisher. Not even the finisher, the hip thrust. Back to full color, into a pile driver, and there it is. There you go. Toni Storm gets a big win. I wish it was a little bit shorter and a little more her looking like a badass, but big finish right back into black and white. There's a lot of elite wrestlers working with Deadlock Pro Wrestling in the Carolinas to give them time on the road. Right on, Dale. And, again, that is one of the interesting parts of AEW and having the open policy and their talent being able to work other places, because it's good for them to get the reps in, to get more experience. It's important. I think Tony should really consider something in-house, but at least they do have those alternatives. And I know a lot of places where a lot of them appear. If they were smart, they would hire PCO to be the monster going after Toni Storm like King Kong or Frankenstein. Hilarious, Paul. Unfortunately, PCO is locked up to Impact Wrestling /TNA. He will be there for a hot minute. As we're in the back with Jeff Jarrett and crew and Eddie Kingston. So we just added another match for 0 Hour. I can hear Nick cringing now. So Jay Lethal versus Eddie Kingston is being added to Ring of Honor. Added to 0 Hour. You duck and hide. And you know Eddie's going to start swinging, right? Uh-oh. Ooh. This is why you love Eddie. Eddie's a guy that I think should be pushed, man. He should be on Dynamite every single week. You find time for Eddie Kingston. If you had Eddie Kingston chasing down Christian or MJF or mixing it up with top level talent, he brings the best out of shit, man. Like he just says to Jay Lethal, why are you talking like the rest of them? I know you. You're better than this. Saying the same shit all the fans say. Oh my God, you're right. Cody did go to get LA Knight. Makes sense. I don't know if I'm right, but Ortiz just, saying hello to his old friend Eddie as we go to commercial. Dr. Luther is respected in DPW. Excellent. Dr. Luther's had a long career, a successful career by his, for him, he's done well. He's done not a whole lot in AEW for a long time. I don't know if he would be in AEW if he didn't have the relationship with Jericho that he does have, but I like what he's doing now with Tony. Bum, bum, bum. You gotta be kidding me. They've made yet another match rendition of Willy Wonka. They've made another rendition of Willy Wonka and yes, you didn't know that was coming out. I can't wait. Let's go. Gonna get vitamin up and watch all the Oopa Loopas run around. Come on now. They haven't teased it being Punk or Orton. The internet did. I'd be fine with it being LA Knight. That's the thing that we talk about all the time, gamer. And it's one of the things I've kind of championed before. And we've seen other people kind of get heated about the idea of like, when you read it on the internet and people are reporting, it's going to be this, it's going to be this. And then it's not that. Remember when everybody was upset about like, this should be a stipulation match. Meltzer said it was going to be a stipulation match between Cody and Brock. Where's the stipulation? This match sucks. There's no stipulation. Well, we made it up. That doesn't mean they got to do shit about what we think or what we've booked for ourselves. And yeah, sometimes we might have better ideas than what gets delivered. But let's be real, guys. I mean, if it's LA Knight, fine. Again, a lot of what we're presuming is it's Randy. A lot of what we presumed is it might be Punk. There's been a lot of teasing. Punk's been trolling everybody. Would I prefer it to be Randy? Probably. But, I mean, again, it's a really interesting aspect of the IWC and social media and how it works is everybody gets a preconceived idea and you get that mob mentality. It's like I said earlier, where people already think something shit before they turn it on and watch it. So then they don't watch it and just continue to beat it down. This is shit. This is shit. This is shit. Did you see it? No, but it's shit. I know it's shit. RKO and War Games. Now that's the other angle to this, right? Especially if Punk isn't included. So LA Knight joins the babyface team, right? That's the trade-off. The women get Becky, the men get, and again, and making more sense now as I say it aloud, is the women get Becky, the men get LA Knight. That's the deal between Pierce and Aldis. Let's say that's how they do it. So then, what if RKO has Cody's going to win, he's about to win, and then RKO out of nowhere? What if they do win and it's an RKO out of nowhere? What if Seth gets hit with an RKO out of nowhere? There is other, he doesn't have to be in the match to be at Survivor Series. And again, when you look at the card, when you look how everything's set up, and I know a lot of people are wondering, like, is Shinsuke calling out Punk? What if it's Okada that he's calling out? Which, again, I don't know how I feel about that, but we don't know. We just have presumptions. And to be mad that our presumptions don't work out to be true, that doesn't seem fair to either company. Come on, KJ. Everybody knows and loves Emi Sakura and her Freddie Mercury gimmick. She's a living legend and a treasure of mankind. Adorable. Aw, no. No. No, I get you, C-Money. It's funny as shit. And speaking of funny as shit, here comes Roddy being pushed out by the Kingdom. How about the tease that the devil is Maria Kanellis? And I think that came up with me and Anthony the other night. Would Maria Kanellis be an outright disappointment as the devil? And I love Maria, but please don't be the devil. Did you see the reports? All In will be an annual Wembley event. The hope by many was that it would be their WrestleMania, but if it's held in the same venue, hard to see it that way. Yes, I know Tony, and he also went as far as explaining that it's not just All In. All Out is going to stay in and around the same time frame as well. That Tony wants to make it this one big week thing, which I think as a fan, Nigel McGuinness selling the fact that I give Nigel full marks here. Sorry, on a quick side note, Nigel just starts selling the fact that Roddy got out of his wheelchair. Kudos to Nigel on that. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the problem with it always being at Wembley is, will there be decreased excitement? Is it the law of diminishing returns? That is my question. So if you're planning to go Wembley every year, what if next year only sells 42,000 tickets? Is that good enough? Are you happy with that? After all the bragging you did this year, does that feel like a success? And then year 3, how did the ticket sales go? When does it stop being novel to the British crew? It's a very good question. Can they continue to go back to back? And I think the same issue. If you're going to always do, if you're always going to do all in or all out in Chicago, a week later, are you going to be able to manage it? Is there going to be proper builds? It's very interesting. And I think Tony might have bitten off more than he can chew. And it feels like, that old sentiment of like, well, as long as we keep doing good, it'll be fine. We'll see. Who do you think answers Nakamura's open challenge for Survivor Series? KJ and Nick. Damien, has this been made official? I will ask the chat because I don't know that this Nakamura open challenge has been official. So let me know that. There's rumors. There's definitely rumors. A lot of people think Punk. A lot of people think Nakamura's quoted Punk. Then I watched a thing today where it kind of made me think that maybe he was talking to an Okada. But do I want a Nakamura-Okada feud? I don't know. I don't think so. But that may be just me, and maybe some other people out there think that's outstanding. I don't know. I don't know if Okada translates. I mean, I know what he's done in Japan. I've watched him for a long time. I just don't know if I care about him, like in WWE in 2023, 24. But those would be the two rumors. I mean, if he's doing the open challenge, it should be something. Doesn't mean she's back. Larry, I wish I knew what you were talking about. Just because it's on Facebook. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I have no idea. Sakura trained Hickory. Yeah, teacher versus student. We had that match a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I mean, again, Emmy might be good. Listen, she might be all right. I know her gimmick. I know she hits hard. She's got, that Japanese strong style to her. But we see her once every 3 months. And then she has a good match but loses. So that's where it's incumbent of the booker to make me give a shit about Emmy. And her kind of dragging Tony Storm through the mud, it wasn't my favorite choice the night before the pay-per-view. But speaking of my favorite choice...
I was going to say, speaking of dragging people through the mud... But no, what you were just saying right there, if we're going to have the Nakamura open challenge, what if it is? I hear voices in my head.
That's possible.
That's where we get Randy instead of the War Games match.
That's possible.
You're still going to return. It's just not where you thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, and just because we didn't think it was going to be where it is doesn't mean where it is wrong.
Mm-hmm. What comes around is all around.
Your next AEW Women's Champion, Tony Storm, I imagine, and I agree.
Mm-hmm.
If Punk does show up, that building will shake LOL louder than the last time. And he should come out to his original theme, change things up a bit. Song is still a banger. I love his AFI entrance. Yes.
Oh, no. I don't like that. I thought, no. What if they troll everybody? Because theoretically, in the lore of WWE, this Fire Burns was a Randy Orton song before it was a CM Punk song. So whatever you get that playing, and that's where Randy Orton comes out. Even through the darkest.
Confuse everybody.
Just boo, boo.
Yeah. Speaking of the lore, did you like the fact that like on November 25th, he won the ECW title. November 25th, he won. Did he win the world title on November 25th? So they're like, this will be like the third November 25th thing he does.
Remember the 25th of November.
Right.
You will always remember that as CM Punk Day.
Right. CM Punk Day forever.
Instead of Guy Fawkes Day, we got CM Punk Day.
Mm-hmm. By the way, folks, we do have Roderick Strong stomping on Action Andrade. Whatever.
But still, this is how you're ending Rampage going into one of your big pay-per-views of the year.
I don't know. Are we going to end it with the interview like Collision?
Wait, what?
Is this are they going to end it with like an interview segment? Because I don't remember getting the Adam Cole segment yet, or not, the sorry,
the MJF. Well, was that the interview that we initially got? Well, we were supposed to get an MJF interview and a Jay White interview. I don't know.
I don't remember the Jay White one.
Wait, what?
So you end Collision with MJF, and then you end Rampage with Jay White, maybe.
I think ending a go home show on a pay-per-view on an interview segment, unless you're going to end it with
it getting broken up,
the most intense promo, and he's fucking cutting it right to the camera, and oh my god, you think this man's going to walk through heaven and hell to fucking win this match here.
Yeah.
Unless you end it on some hellfire and brimstone like that, it's a flat finish.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's a flat end.
Yep. KJ, I just heard you say PCO is locked, but could Hunter get him eventually? I don't think so, honestly. Unfortunately, I love PCO, but I just, based on the business practices of WWE, his age is going to be a big factor in that. And I believe, I know he did re-sign with Impact. I don't know how long.
Get him at the ripe old age of like 70.
Yeah, you'll get him out of Impact at 59 years old and very beat up.
I still believe he could have a match more than Ric Flair could.
Oh, 100%.
Even at that point.
Dude, he's still rolling, man. He's insane. He's a freak of nature.
He's the Canadian Frankenstein.
That's it. Black Machismo got a match. So when 2 matches added to Full Gear tonight. We're up to 11.
I'm still fine with that. Still
Eddie versus Jay Lethal.
Terrible. It's a little too much, but yeah, no. I stop having Eddie involved with this goddamn faction. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Eddie is well beyond this. And
I was saying that when you were on your
podcast. I know, I heard. And yeah, it's one of those of, to me, you put Eddie Kingston is one of the best doing it, period. No matter where you put him at, he does not need to be involved in this goddamn bullshit.
Yeah, no, I
build Ring of Honor around him for something.
Don't even do honestly, Dynamite needs him. Dynamite needs personality.
That's a problem.
Dynamite needs soul. It needs the realism that Eddie brings to the table. They lack that.
Pro wrestling lacks the realism that Eddie Kingston brings to it, and I will say that on record.
Absolutely. And that's why I think he should be prominently featured on Dynamites and Collisions, where he is messing with top level people, and whether he's going for titles or around the title, that's what he brings to the table. He's a heart and soul guy that sells tickets. If he's at the top of the marquee and he's taking on your champ and you're going to see fireworks, that sells tickets. That gets people to tune in.
He's your built-in in-house Daniel Bryan, and that's the thing, is they've missed the boat so many times at this that I halfway waiting for it.
Bro, we just did a Spanish fly, and I think Roddy actually broke his neck. Holy shit.
I haven't gotten there yet. I've got Andrade with the springboard.
Match just came to a stop.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
The match actually, and I'm 100% confident it's kayfabe, but I'll give them credit. They under-rotated the Spanish fly to sell us on this. If it's
dude, that's not even a Spanish fly. That was what was supposed to be a Spanish fly into a fucking DDT.
Yeah, it was more of a Spanish mosquito. It didn't go well.
Yeah, and that went SWAT.
This is like Roddy shaking his fingers. He's okay. He's okay.
I don't like this though, because I mean, granted, that's the fucked up part with wrestling, is because they can play with what's real and what isn't. When they pull the wide shot like this of we're not going to show you them talking to him, them making sure like he can still touch his fingers and shit.
He's okay though, because he instantly throws a shoulder block in the corner.
Yeah, but that was not at all a Spanish fly. That was a Spanish tackle.
Oh, it was short. And again, if it was short on purpose, which based on how this just played out, of like they checked on him and then now we're going again, that was oops. Big knee.
That wasn't like, but that wasn't like short of, came up kind of close like that. You didn't even get a rotation. You just literally planted that man on the front of his skull.
It looked more like a flatliner than it did Spanish. But they put the neck brace back on him.
Andretti. Jumping high knee. Lumbar check.
It's over.
2, 3.
And
the way that man exploded that out of that into it. I know that was a lot of vague terminology, but when he hits the suplex and tosses him up to hit the fucking backbreaker there, that man, he just exploded out of that.
It looked like he just wanted, like, threw him up, like, just finish this. Go.
Just fuck you. That was fuck you.
Yeah, you bastard Spanish what?
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
We are ending this episode with Jay White. Sorry to interrupt. And if I'm being like uber picky, would you not have the champion of the last visual we get before the show? Not the challenger with the belt. Maybe the challenger goes first. The champion responds. Point of strength.
Yeah, we're getting this interview segment. So this is fucking weird. So we ended Collision with Shivani interviewing MJF, and now we're ending Rampage, the go home segment. So your last visual for Full Gear is Renee Moxley Good sitting down with Jay White. Now, see, this works to me is if MJF storms in and he just starts beating the piss out of Jay White and everything. Like, you end it to where
I'm hoping.
He sits there and he grabs the title back and says, "See you tomorrow, bitch," or something like that. That's where you end that. You make him look like a badass going out of this. This right now is a lull of a finish.
Yes. Like, this is your middle of the show segment.
Yeah, well, and especially because Jay White is not, personally, he's not a captivating promo. He's good of cuts the little quick presser with some quick quips after a match as he's halfway gassed. He lets something out and then he moves on. Yeah, that's it. He's not sit there and cut a whole promo.
I like him better in the Q&A format that he's getting here with Renee because she can serve him up pretty good and he can run like a media scrum. It is a better approach than him just standing in the ring and kind of cutting his own thoughts.
Yeah, but I almost feel like, I don't know what it is with him, but he seems like he cuts a better promo when he's like halfway gassed and like selling how great of a match that was. It's like how MJF can tear into people.
There's MJF. Let's go. Okay, that's okay. All right, okay.
You're a day ahead of me.
I give it thumbs.
Pause.
The thing is, WWE trolls too much and getting ratings up, and the marks going crazy.
What is AEW?
Would it be a fair argument, Nick, that I think the trolling has been very, like, I know I heard a kind of a online friend, they were doing a thing today about, I don't care about the ratings. I'm like, I never cared about the ratings until AEW brought them up. So, I mean, I feel like the trolling is mutual.
Well, it's one of those as now I've got MJF just tearing fucking house here. And this is, like I said, I like this of this is how you end this of God damn it, I'm going to beat the fucking piss out of you. But yeah, it's one of those AEW invited this environment. And then now that they're on the back foot of it, they're like, wait, hold on here.
Oh, sorry, wait. Oh, Jude. What did he just
I kind of hate the fact that this man hasn't been able, he's been able to jump this man, beat the shit out of him, but
can't get his belt back.
Like, can't just grab that and run.
And how did he end up beating up Juice? Jay got away. Juice is bleeding. Juice got juice.
Well, hey.
Oh, look, we're going to end up out here. They're coming to the ball. Jay running away with the belt. MJF chasing. All right. Okay.
Man throwing a TV at him.
Double leg.
Juice literally looks like he squirted some ketchup on his forehead.
MJF taking down one of the ass boys. Oh, the other one. Another double leg.
We'll try and stay with this as long as we can. We still have 6 minutes before we go off the air. The fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, well, you know what? Good for them as far as, that's, again, how you should be selling it.
Right, you do that when you're in the last 2 minutes, the last minute, not when you have 6 minutes. You can have a goddamn match in this fucking length.
MJF about to get his belt back. You got the Triple B.
I used the real TV. Cry me a river. Can MJF just get the championship belt and get out of Dodge? Yes, please.
Oh, wait. MJF loading up the belt. Jay asking for mercy. Oh, he got jumped again. He's going to lose his belt. I'm kind of with you. I'm with you. Listen, Nick take, and I agreed with Nick on the fact of jumping into these interviews to end your 2 shows is probably not my favorite choice. But to their credit, the last thing we see is an outright brawl between the champion and his crew picking on the champion, or sorry, the challenger.
See, but you have your belt and fucking roll out. I get you want your fucking vengeance. Take your pound of flesh, but I'm going to do this tomorrow, son of a bitch. I'm taking back what's mine, and then roll out.
Well, no. So he got destroyed on Wednesday. He gets destroyed on Friday. And the whole gimmick is nobody likes him. He has no friends.
He's 100% winning tomorrow. It's not debatable.
No. Yeah, Joe. That's his
this partner. Is going to stop his partner for the pre-show.
Tag partner for 0 hour. Joe.
Dun.
Joe should have ripped the belt out of Jay White's hands and then turned around and gave it,
handed it to MJF and saying, I want you to have this because when I beat you for it, it's going to be that much better.
If I was to change anything here, it's exactly that. Joe gets the belt back, and then he kind of has that moment where they're both holding the belt.
He looks at it like he's going to clock MJF, and he hands it to him, and he's just aggressive. He shoves it into his chest and everything like that. And it's one of those of, so when I beat you for that, I know I beat you for it.
You hold on to this tightly. I'm coming to get it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would have changed there. But look, we're going to get the handshake. We're going to get the handshake. Joe. Tag partner for tomorrow, folks. We're setting it up. Joe.
I don't hate it.
There you go. And it's not like, oh, I love you, bro. It's grr. It's intense.
What is this? It's so interesting how it's come almost halfway full circle of MJF being the security guard that got shoved out of the way by Samoa Joe, and now we're going to be tag team partners.
Yeah, right.
What comes around is all around.
Right. Are you sure about the 6 minutes, Nick? The Spectrum guide is showing Rampage still on until 11:30. We're not.
Oh God.
We still got 3 minutes on the clock.
Right. Well, at least 2.
KJ, you see my comment? Is it a super chat?
If not, you can always repeat it.
Right. What's up, KJ and Nick? Kenny King, Don from TNA. Will he be a good fit in WWE with WWE MVP? Interesting.
Bobby Lashley.
Kenny King's great. Again, I wonder if the WWE is just not really in the market for veteran talent, you know what I mean? Unless it's somebody they really confide in, I
don't know. I feel like they could use him as veteran talent. I think Kenny King just might have that personality that he might not meld that well there. He's very opinionated on what he wants to do.
Yeah,
and respect to anyone that feels that way. Fully validated, but WWE is a little bit like the Walmart of pro wrestling. Of at times you're going to kind of fit within their playbook.
Yeah, so Tony Schiavone running us through the card for tomorrow night, and I will say this. Wednesday night, I was very critical, and I felt like Dynamite in no way, shape, or form made me more excited for Full Gear. Somehow, Collision and Rampage has got me more excited for Full Gear.
Because it was your pre-show. Yeah. That's what should have been your goddamn pre-show.
I believe we are up to 12 matches, and we added ladders to another match.
I'm fine with that, though. I still think if there are 3 matches to be entertained by, it's the fucking tag ladder match.
Yep.
It is 100% Jay White versus MJF, because that to me regardless of how we've talked about the story and everything like that, it's two of the best pro wrestlers going at it. And Hangman versus Swerve, to me, it has those three matches are going to be match of the show or match of the night, match of the week. One may break out as a match of the year. Yeah.
Now, we talked about War Games and your concern of having two War Games matches and the fact that, you know, sometimes having the duplicate would take away from the one going second.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have that feeling here in the sense of we're going to get that Texas death match and a ladder match, which are going to look pretty similar. And I'm wondering if maybe, like, I still petition that I would have loved Hangman and Swerve to be just a straight up Donnie, like an absolute beautiful match. Like, burn the place down. Give us Steamboat Flair.
You're not wrong with that, but I think, though, if you pace them out and you space them out, if you say have the ladder match start the show, mid-show you have the Swerve Hangman match, and then you end the show with the world title match, I think you, especially with the pace that AEW tends to run their pay-per-views, you can pace things out enough. Now, granted, could you get enough car crash and calamity in between that just muddies the water, or do you get enough that gives you that pace, that break, that breathing room to let things, stoke the flames a little bit? Not a Stokely Hathaway, but
not a Stokely. Okay, I enjoyed this. Glad you enjoyed it, King. Come back anytime, and happy to have friendly debate about the wrestling. I like it. Wow. This ends with Joe getting jumped by the Devil on pay-per-view. Starts with Joe getting jumped by the Devil. Oh, interesting. The pay-per-view starts tomorrow, and Joe gets jumped.
No,
I
don't think so. Go ahead.
Sorry, just a quick question. If Joe helps MJF retain, are they now the tag champions?
Should be. By rules of tag team wrestling decree. Thus defendeth, thus retaineth. So, they should be the tag team champions at that point.
Yeah, technically.
It'd be another Ring of Honor title that Joe can just vacate.
Yeah, the next night. I don't want this, guys. Adam,
that's such a fucking hot tui on Keith Lee. Like, not only did I beat you, and then vacated the title you were challenging me for.
I didn't even
after I beat your ass.
I didn't even want it. No, thank you.
Right. I whooped your ass, and I didn't even want this shit.
Folks, if you're still hanging out with us, give us a rating out of 10 for AEW Rampage tonight. If you feel like throwing in your 2 cents about the other shows, I'm all ears. SmackDown was an 8 out of 10 to King. AEW was 8.5 out of 10. So both, you like both. That's good. Joe and MJF, let's go. Fair enough. Joe got that one. Over under, we get the double tomorrow night. I don't know how we go over under, but
I guess yes or no. I'll say no.
You don't think we're gonna get the double?
Or if we do, we get ends the show and you get maybe like a little quick visual and that's it.
Really?
I don't think you get any sort of a reveal.
Oh, you don't think they're gonna reveal this at Full Gear? When will they reveal?
No. Revolution, something. I think they're still playing fast and loose with this a little bit.
So you think March 2024?
I don't. I think they're gonna let this thing go. They don't need to fucking. You're gonna over deliver, and we're gonna get a signing. MJF goes over Jay White, and we're gonna the Devil all debuted and let out at one show. No, you gotta let some shit build. They have nothing else that's building.
Have you watched Tony Khan? I don't know.
They have nothing else that's building, though.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, I'm not opposed to the fact that there's nothing else building, but that's never stopped this man from coming to a conclusion.
Pause. I would just recommend, I'll say, let it play out. Build it. You still have time. You still have tread on them tires.
So my guess is if it doesn't get revealed at Full Gear, then it's 100% Adam Cole. And they're buying time until he's healthy.
Fair enough. You can have that. I still think I can go back and you can watch the first person that was under the devil mask. That is nowhere at all been the same person that's been wearing it recently. Mm-hmm. So all of this talk of who's been under the mask is who they plan to have it. No, this has been on the fly.
Now, Tony did come out and say, it was reported, he said in one of his media thingies, but it was said that the person the people in the get-ups are the actual people that are going to come to fruition.
This is the same guy that has major announcements that are pre-sales for fucking tickets and
in his head. That's what they are,
right? But that's the thing is that 100% right there. This is to Tony. That is 100% fact. That is accurate. This is great. Everything's amazing. But this is nowhere near where we're actually at. I think this is still on the fly.
Yeah, but that's one thing to say that he would go on the record of saying, "Oh no, that's the people in the outfits are the actual people."
But that's clearly not, because the first one wasn't the same one as the second one.
But
that's not accurate.
You can tell that. I would have
You're
to look
telling
at
me if you look at the body structure of the person.
I'd have to look at it, because all I've seen is neck up recently, so that's all I can really remember.
We had the super tiny person that played the devil at the first point and everything. That's where the whole Britt Baker possibility got thrown in there.
That's because it's Adam Cole. KJ and Nick, what are your thoughts about main card for Survivor Series? As of right now, I'm excited. I think we're ready to go, and even what we're setting up is nice, and I think we're going to get some shit added, and there's a lot of intrigue going into Survivor Series. I'm jazzed for it.
Oh, 100%. Survivor Series is going to be a huge night for WWE.
Mm-hmm. JV saying, yeah, we get a sighting, but no double. I think one of the goons might get unmasked. That would be an interesting take. If one of the goons get unmasked during the whole process. I'm curious. Yeah, I just assume that we're generally, when you got something rolling like this, you build it to the pay-per-view. We get the pay-per-view. We'll get an unveiling. If they let it go into next year, nobody's going to give a fuck when he does get unmasked in March. It's got to be sooner than that.
Well, even if you do it on TV, but I still think you've got legs on this versus you pull the trigger on this now. This hasn't been great. This hasn't been booked great as a whole now. Mm-hmm. You were the one that was saying did they let this wait too long and simmer on the back burner too much, and now you want to have a reveal at this pay-per-view?
Yeah, I think it's possible that it plays into the ending of it all, like how this plays out. Who leaves Full Gear with the belt could definitely have something to do with the double. Now, doesn't that mean they're going to reveal the double? Maybe not, but I definitely think he has an impact in Full Gear.
He just rips off the mask. Let's put a smile on that.
Right. Face. We'll figure it out. I mean, again, I don't know. Maybe they're building the World's End with it. Maybe it is Adam Cole and he is hurt. I have no idea. But I figure after 6 weeks ish of going back and forth with this, it's not going to last too much longer before they tell us, before someone leaks it.
Fair. That's a bigger statement than anything.
Right. I'll tell you this. Edge turns on Sting. I'm kind of with you.
I'll tell you what.
Right. I kind of with JV on this one.
I still don't see it. I know you've said it. I don't see it.
He's boring as fuck right now.
What is Adam Copeland in AEW?
Yeah, so I think a heel turn might actually give a shit. We'll see. I don't know.
No.
Him being a dick.
His big captivating thing was going at Christian, and so
it hasn't been
counter that. And how can we make this more captivating? Well, he teams up with them.
Yeah, and now you set up that tag match with Darby and Sting versus Edge and Christian, and then you get the band back together. No. You have Edge and Christian, and everyone's kumbaya. They get to relive their glory days. Glory days.
Yeah, and then we'll just have Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys, and we'll just run back.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, we're gonna get
and not act like we're doing that exact shit.
They have to put Edge and Christian back together at some point because the Bucks have to check them off the list of super tag teams.
Oh, for fuck!
They do. They got to beat them.
You said that though. You're kind of right with that.
They do. They're checking off all the old '90s tag teams that they've beat. So when they, are old and retired, they can say we were the best ever.
Because that's the only time the Bucks would have been super fucking relevant is in the old '90s tag team wrestling.
Maybe. 7.5. Sting final match will be Sting and Darby, Edge and Christian. No, I think it's going to be Sting Darby straight up. Darby retires.
Sting Flair.
casket match. Sting Darby.
Buried alive match.
Yeah, Darby buries Sting, literally.
Oh,
I'm down. SmackDown ending was weak compared to Rampage was great. I mean, they were both kind of the same, in the same idea, and I had issues with both. So I wouldn't say I don't think SmackDown's was weak at all. I think Rampage's was good as well.
I think every show tonight ended mediocre.
I don't think so.
You had better moments that you could have ended the show on.
You think a better moment than the MJF? I kind of wish MJF would have got his belt, or like I said, Joe did it. But I mean, Joe joining forces with MJF.
That wasn't that bad. I think you could have done the situation better. That, like I said, that made me eat my words a little bit because I thought we were just ending straight on the interview. Mm-hmm. Collision, I called specifically when they should have ended it. Yeah. And then they fucked around and went too far after the fact. SmackDown, yeah.
I really like the end of SmackDown. Becky joins the team, even though Becky wouldn't have been my first choice, but I understand why they're doing it.
And it was a War Games match announcement, and I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think Rampage and SmackDown both lacked that like cherry on top. That's all we needed. It was pretty good, but like with the Samoa Joe moment we talked about, the cherry.
You missed the finishing touches.
Yeah, you didn't like give us some garnish.
You got there, you just didn't, fully finish it off. Pause.
You follow through. You got to follow through.
Right.
So, but yeah, I wouldn't say any of them were weak, except I thought Collision, like you said, probably could have had a better point to it.
Facts. I am so amped for tomorrow. AW pay-per-views are always diamonds. I think more times diamonds in the rough than diamonds. I will say that. More dud than stud.
Here's the thing. I have been a little underwhelmed with the last couple AEW people. I gave Wrestle Dream a really good mark because there was really solid matches in there. But maybe I over anticipated All In. I thought All Out did really well, and I actually liked All Out better than All In. I really just want Full Gear to fucking just bang it out tomorrow.
I'm interested to see, and as we've mentioned, of how this does better and how we even feel about it differently. Mm-hmm. That it's on a Saturday instead of a Sunday of like, I got work tomorrow morning and this is going for fucking all ever and nothing super captivating me, versus knowing it's on a Saturday. It's a bit of a smaller card. I know we're already ballooning that card as we speak.
Could be matches made in the parking lot on the way home.
Seriously, a day of show. Don't put that evil out there. Mm-hmm. But at least it's on a Saturday, so you've got more time. You've got a bit more runway. You've got a bit more breathing room with that. Then this is a Sunday. You better can deliver, because guess what? I'm staying up late and going to be tired of shit tomorrow. Yeah. Because you're out here doing this and it ain't hitting.
Well, and again, I think that, the vibe's going to be different. I mean, we've seen it before where we had big moments in AEW that they were so late in the show and it's so long after start time. We were just kind of like, yay, good night. Like that we just wanted to
been on here. Literally, I think one of the first fucking couple streams I was on here.
Yeah.
Me and your brother. And literally we were out here for the main event of AEW, and we're like, I don't care who wins, just make it fast.
Yeah. Boston, you're not just saying skip that. Ending was bad. Fair enough. I mean, I don't think it was much different than either show. Oh, Damien asked what show won tonight out of the three. What was our favorite show? Collision and SmackDown are neck and neck.
Fuck. I'll still take SmackDown.
You're gonna take SmackDown?
I was hindered because I was watching it a day late and $1 short compared to where you were at with the show and everything. Mm-hmm. So I'll just take SmackDown on that. I think Collision could potentially win out on the rewatch for match quality, but SmackDown is a show overall.
SmackDown, I thought they were both good. I mean, I'm kind of in that C+, B- area with both shows tonight. I thought there was little things that could have been either changed up or better. I don't love Tony Storm being pushed to the limit by Emmy the night before a title shot, but that's just me being nitpicky. I didn't, I kind of really wanted the Aldis War Games thing, but I guess we're going to hold that off till next week. Yeah, I mean, it's very, really
and the go home show with that. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think so. And I think ultimately, dude, Collision, I thought Collision had some really good matches tonight. I really liked Collision tonight.
Fair enough. And Collision's normally a good show. It's just interesting to see it go head to head with a SmackDown.
Yeah, solid performance. I mean, the matches were wicked. I thought Roosh and Dax tore it down. I thought there was some good things there. Again, we talked. The ending might have been a little flat. The main event I thought was okay, but overall, a good night of wrestling. I'm happy.
Fair enough. Well, I was clicking on Kyle because he said, "Will you be making a prediction video?" The prediction video is already out, so go and watch that if you want to know who's taking who.
Yeah, go look below and check all the other sections. We got videos, shorts.
Right, we got all the clicks, we got all the links, everything. And we even got a prediction settle as Larry. I was reading the chat while you were talking. We've already gotten a feud starting, a rivalry starting over who's going to be the predictions champion coming out on Saturday.
Yeah, let's go. Pastor Jeff putting his title on the line tomorrow, folks. You have a chance to have your name above Nick's head for a month or a week because you will have
to a week. Yeah,
you're gonna have to defend it in a week. So whoever wins it better have a tight grip.
Now, should we do a War Games of like you have to draft your team of like 5 commentators? We're gonna get like C-Money, Boston. We're gonna get everybody that's normally in the chat. I'll team up on one team.
Right. KJ and Nick, do you think Randy or Punk will return Monday?
Out of those two, Randy.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think there's something brewing for Survivor Series, or if not next week into Survivor Series. The Monday after would kind of be like, I guess we didn't get it, and then we get it on Raw. They've done it before.
Right. We clicked the same thing multiple times. Soffit said, Ronda might be working with Ring of Honor soon.
Maybe.
Believe what I see.
No, I think this is her way. They're going to give her and Marina the first ever AEW women's tag team titles.
When I see an elephant fly. That's 100% what that is.
All right, folks. We're going to call last call on the chat. We're going to shut her down, get some beauty rest, get ready for tomorrow. Like we always say. Yeah, right? You don't have to go home, but you got to get the...
you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Right. So, folks, make sure you click all those links below. Make sure you come back tomorrow. And as we always say, be a friend, tell a friend, let everybody know about the Wrestling for Life Network. We appreciate it. We're about to hit 3K. We can't wait. Just clipping along. We're hitting milestones left, right, and center. And we're only just begun. But yeah, people getting some last minute.
Treat it all poetic there. We've only just begun. Treat it like boxing. Stick and move.
I said from day one, from the basement to the penthouse and beyond. And here we go. So,
started from the bottom, now we're here.
Right? Great show tonight, amigos. We appreciate that, Mr. King.
Mucho gracias, mucho.
Right. Pause on Pastor Jeff's last comment. Win or lose, yeah.
Fair enough. Well, Boston, let me know. I appreciate you, boo-boo.
All right.
Do something strange for a little piece of change.
But with all that being said, Nick, that is
our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that for life with it. What?
All right, folks. We'll see you on the flip side. Full gear tomorrow. Don't miss out. Good night.